Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Los Angeles 2119. Hi, everybody. I really, there are times where I'm like, I should take after Jason Carl and really set the mood at the top of the episode, but I'm too fucking excited right now. So, hi, everybody. It's true. This is the mood. So we're back after our little stint away, in which this hour was filled up with some amazing gaming by one Eliza Pearl and Overlights.
Yes.
Your first time in the GM chair, how did that feel?
It was so fun and I loved it and I'm hooked.
There's a lot of people asking for more Fractured Paradox, like.
Oh my god.
And they're not alone. I think Sam also. I think me also. I think a lot of us.
I think literally everyone who ever watched also.
Yeah, that's about right. It's strange because we're in 2019 here in present day, which of course is Blade Runner year, which is kind of weird.
Yeah.
Wow. Happy Blades year.
Anyway,
everyone.
They pushed that to 2049 now.
Is that
goal to hit?
That's okay. Once we passed 1996 and Khan had launched into space, I was like, all right, I'm gonna just take this. So I have to start this episode off. Apparently, while we were away, Dogmite Games put together the Dogmite. What's their official title? Is it Dogmite Games? Dogmite is what we just call them around the office. I just want to make sure. But Dogmite, as some of you guys know, they make really rad products for like RPGs, like dice trays and GM screens. And our amazing producer Cliff went behind my back and talked to them, and Dogmite got all excited, and they made me a GM screen, which I'm now supposed to reveal. So I'm supposed to look at this and thing.
The back is pretty. Okay, flip it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Check that out.
Oh my god.
Check that out.
Oh wow, it's so
Whoa.
pretty.
6
Can
on
we
it.
frame it?
Ooh, it's magnetic. That's so awesome.
Oh, it's magnetic.
It's all magnetic, yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh man, that is
It's so beautiful.
that is some sexy shit. I'm just gonna say it.
I hope
Wow.
you are not offended by this, but I don't think you can pull that off, bro. I think
I don't know. We might have to actually conclude this. We might actually have to conclude.
like too cool.
I might have to
Zip the
conclude the
zipper
story
all the way.
tonight.
Yeah, you gotta.
Aspirational GM.
Thank you, Dogmite. Holy hell! Like, and this is just like some of the stuff that they make. Like the GM screen that I was really eyeing for a long time was their Viking GM screens. They make like really cool, like they make a Yggdrasil GM screen. It's all green with a tree of life on it. Looks so rad. This though is now near and dear to my heart. Yeah.
I gotta say, Overlight got gifted a beautiful dice tray from Dogmite.
They're good. Dogs.
It's gorgeous. It's just so.
So
Yeah.
speaking of that, it's our first episode back for the season. So there's a lot of stuff I got to go through real quick before we can jump into the story. The first thing I need to go to is I just want to give a quick shout out to my producer Cliff, who busted his ass, yes, who did such a fantastic job putting together our new look and getting us more resources and giving me this fucking awesome screen. And of course Holly, who is always the GNS mastermind over on the Switch box, making things awesome. So the big announcements that I have tonight is we actually are super grateful to have 2 sponsors for the season. We are so grateful. It really helps support the show. It's been magnificent. So I'm going to go ahead and read off and thank our sponsors real quick. The first one is a huge thank you to Okie Dokie Dice.
Woo!
Yeah, Okie Dokie Dice. And the second one is our good beloved friends at none other than Monty Cook Games. We are huge fans of Monty Cook Games, and they jumped in on sponsoring Callisto 6 Season 2. So we are,
Wow.
we are both touched and excited by that. And I'm going to read off real quick. So Okie Dokie Dice, it's brought to you by the same people who make Ultimate Guard. Both brands believe in the same philosophy, which is gamers from gamers. And Okie Dokie Dice are available in all markets except North America, but that's going to be launching in March. So stay tuned on that. And they've got all the different types of dice choices that you need. So they've got 12 millimeter, 16 millimeter, and all the RPG dice sets. You're holding that's one of the dice that they have. They have the solid, translucent, speckled, Enclave, gem dice, which are one of my favorites. Marble, glow in the dark, metal, and then my favorite because it's extreme, the metal glow in the dark. Which I love those.
That's what I'm holding, and they're heavy and awesome.
Yeah.
I can't wait to
You can threaten people.
Yay. They're like
So you can
weapons.
find.
Like, never do that, Aaron.
Right. So you can find them at okidokiddice.com, at okidokiddice on all social media with Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. And thank you so much to Okidoki Dice for jumping in. And I'm really looking forward to the release in March. We are super grateful that they've been jumping in to sponsor the show. Thank you.
I have the 12mm ones right now in my hands.
Yeah.
These are 12mm.
Big old
They're
stack of D6s.
small and cute.
So Monty Cook Games has something going on called New Game Master Month. Now, this is something that they told me that they were doing. I was super excited about this. It's a free program that brings you inspiration, advice, and step-by-step process that guides you and other prospective GMs up to and through your very first game. So New Game Master Month is basically a month-long seminar in the form of twice weekly posts, which means you can jump in on any time at any point, plus a community of current GMs and fellow learners on Facebook and Twitter using the hashtag NewGMMonth. So really, Monty Cook Games is just, they're trying to bring out more storytellers. We had great success with that when Eliza took the center chair, which was nice. So thank you, Monty Cook Games, for doing this. So join New Game Master Month now and be a GM in February. You can use a coupon code, ready for this? Measure Z, in the Monty Cook Games shop at checkout for $5 off.
Oh gosh, it's so
'Cause
cool.
they're
It's so
awesome.
scary at the same time.
Yes, they're rad.
Just a quick, just a quick poll. Who says coupon and who says coupon?
Coupon.
Coupon.
I say coupon, and every time I heard the lawyer in
What
Jurassic
is
Park
it?
say
Coupon.
coupon, I always
Coupon.
what?
I do both, honestly.
No, you
Sometimes-
don't.
Like coupons. Coupons.
Amy, we know you swing both ways.
I say paper discount.
Paper
Do you?
Paper
No, you
discount.
don't.
Unless there's anything else, I know that's a lot of announcements at the top of the show. Wait, I'm sorry. Silly me. We have a Sam loses their shit episode. I'm sorry. I forgot about this.
My favorite kind of episode.
Yes.
I'm not Eric. I'm Sam.
Yeah.
Did you short circuit?
We're gonna come back from break, and this is the way to do it, right?
Ooh, what do y'all think it is?
Dice. No, I'm just kidding. Probably.
What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Pencils. Dice.
I everything that came to my mind was dirty, so I can't.
Box of pencils.
What's in the box?
Dice. Do I get a cookie?
Pencils, you are correct. Dice,
Pencils
you are
and cookies.
also correct.
I mean pencils.
Lovely, lovely face. Guys.
I don't know, Sam.
Ribbon.
There is not a note in here. I have my suspicions of Dice Patron. He's at me on Twitter to confirm so I can thank you. This is such a lovely start to the... Yay.
Not bad, right? You got a whole new box of pencils to shatter as I dump horrible plot point after horrible plot point.
It's time for GM
over.
intrusion.
Eric, we're going to go off air at some point.
Yeah, I know.
You can't hide on street forever. What?
You will have to face the
This is gonna be
consequences.
great. This is going to be good.
So-
I'm excited.
So without further ado, let's jump in to the episode, and also get ready, folks, because along with the audience, you guys are about to learn the results of Measure Z. It's time to begin second season, Callisto 6.
In the wake of the recent series of alarming tectonic activity in the Los Angeles area, more sightings of alleged super beings are being reported across the city. One LA motorist told authorities that they spotted what looked like a young man passing high-speed traffic on the 405 while on foot. And we'll come back to that in just a moment. But right now, I'm being told that we may have the final results from tonight's historic vote on Measure Z. that will decide the future of Los Angeles. Our analysts have now projected that Measure Z will pass. Measure Z, the municipal-wide law that will significantly alter the political landscape of Los Angeles, perhaps one of the most significant laws to pass in the history of the city, has been ratified by the citizens of Los Angeles. A stunning upset. As we know, going into the day of voting had Measure Z down in the poll by almost 15 points. The controversy that has suddenly exploded around the major corporations, as well as the stunning replacement of the Star CEO, Kylan Krause, likely all played a major role. This is a major victory for Mayor Cade Gaopeng, and indeed, perhaps the future of Los Angeles.
Good.
12,000 votes.
Oh my god.
12,000.
12,000 votes from our fan base.
Incredible.
Do we know like the final count of like who voted no?
It crushed. It crushed. And just to give you a glimpse behind the GM screen, we rigged that election.
What?
Cliff and I came up with a crazy idea because there's no way corporate LA was going to play fair. So we added in a few thousand votes against Measure Z.
Wow.
Or for Measure Z. Or no, sorry, against Measure Z. And Super Punks came out and annihilated it.
Wow.
Hacker punks, I see you and I appreciate you.
You guys rigged the election?
Against.
It's the way it's done, isn't it?
Yeah.
What you do? Isn't that how things are done these days?
That's how politics works.
I was going to say.
Yes.
Wow.
And yet,
Well, yeah.
we shall prevail.
We are no longer a tax haven.
Okay, well now that the city's gonna probably be a shit show, let's do this.
Let them. So thank you to all of the Super
I'm not
Punks
wrong.
and fans out there who voted on Measure Z and contributing to the show and changing the course of this experience. I know there's a lot of people out there that wanted to go darker. Don't worry, just because Measure Z passed doesn't mean it's going to be sunshine and rainbows. Although we already know that with the dads, there are plenty of rainbows in this game.
Yay! Because of revolution.
Yeah. So we are going to begin. Let's see. I didn't even go through my. Let's do.
Viva la revolution. That's my really bad French.
It's been 1 day since the incident that took place on the train. Now, you know you were spotted rescuing that train. You know some of you were filmed, and yet some of that footage, even though has been reported, you notice that on the news reports, none of it is being broadcast. Maybe it's not ready, but speculation is abound as you have all watched the news reports say that supers are being spotted. They could only be talking about you guys, right? With the explosion of the C6 energy source on board that train, thanks to one glitched out supervillain lurking in the Matrix, the dark, I should say. There is a lot of questions as to what the landscape of the city looks like. But there are two variables that are most important right now and in play for the team. Right now, we start off opening our season in Blue Dolphin Base in the middle of... Yeah, thank
All right, that's just so cool.
I know. I love that.
I did it at the same
It's
time.
coming.
Look over there. Or whatever direction it is on the screen for you.
So we're going to begin tonight at Blue Dolphin Base. It's been a day later, and laying on the medical bed in front of you guys in the lab is an unconscious woman in a fine business suit. You've known her for the better part of over a month now as a very dangerous individual who's been called Oniko. When last we left off, she had been rendered unconscious as that C6 energy explosion took place. As she is laying before all of you, on the news, on all of the screens popping up, is the long-awaited statement from Mayor Cade Gaopeng. You're all sort of in the same room together, gathered around the medical bed. She is, I'm assuming, under a safety restraint while she's on the bed?
Yeah.
I would think so.
Yeah.
But on the screen, you see coming up a press conference being held at City Hall. For the past 24 hours, the city has been nothing but talk show, radio show, like talking heads, like everybody is talking about what this means, and corporate LA has been completely silent. Y'all are glancing up at the screens here inside of Blue Dolphin Base. and you watch as the crowd parts and all the clicks of cameras going off as the mayor steps up to the podium, flanked by LAPD and a few other politicians. Oya, your father, you see city councilman, is just in the background behind the mayor as they're all gathering on the television screen. Mayor Kate Galping takes the stand, and there's a hush, and he reads the following words out loud. There is a new day dawning for the city of Los Angeles. Last night, the people of this city demonstrated once again their resilience and their courage by voting to reclaim the destiny of this great city by taking it back into their own hands. This morning, I was happy to receive a phone call from the President of the United States, who congratulated the city of Los Angeles for once again demonstrating the power of democracy. We spoke at length about the far-reaching implications of this vote, and she agreed that this is a line in the sand for the ever-growing power of the influence of global megacorporations and the hold that they have on government. This morning, I have ordered Police Commissioner N. Kayali, and he motions over to, you see a very broad-shouldered woman, Pacific Islander, looks like, hair tied back, decorated police chief, or police commissioner, full uniform, standing very just passively next to him and nodding in support, says, I have dedicated her to begin implementing a full disarming of corporate Los Angeles security forces, as well as dismantling of toll roads leading into corporate LA. And this is just the first of many steps. In the coming months, my administration will restore balance to our city and ensure the prosperity through equality and rule of law. There will be great challenges and difficult times ahead. Change is always hard, but change is vital. And Los Angeles has declared that it's ready for change. Thank you. And reporters shouting out questions the moment he begins to move away. And the report comes back. Well, there you have it, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, the statement coming in from Mayor Kate Galping. This is a momentous day for Los Angeles 2119. And now we're going to go into news reports now and the implications this is going to have on both the economy and the healthcare system of Los Angeles. As we all know, that's deeply rooted in the backing of corporate Los Angeles. Back at the studio, and then it goes into the talking heads. You see all of them popping up. Yes, Sam has a whole section in the player guide written about healthcare in Los Angeles.
Why would I do that?
Don't worry, your good work will not go to waste. There's a quiet that settles over everyone as the background chatter begins to roll on. And the only sound inside the lab right now, aside from the background screens, is the occasional thudding noises made by Sal, who's moving around in the main room, and the beeping on the heart monitor that's keeping track of Oniko's vitals.
I'm going to go ahead and stretch to turn off that television. No remote needed or verbal command because I'm just showing off.
Quick narrative beat. Lacey, something you would have realized more than anybody else. Last night, when that C6 power explosion took place, something very similar to the very first time it took place happened. Tech in the area glitched and went offline like an EMP had popped. It was very brief, very, very brief. Probably about 2, maybe 3 seconds, like a blink, and then powered back online.
Excellent. So there are going to be sensors that would have picked that up and would have records.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Fantastic.
City Power Grid would have tracked
that.
that.
Could be compared to previous.
There has, by the way, been news reports of a major power outage, and the train accident is definitely in the news. It is being buried, however, completely buried. Even though there's eyewitness accounts saying that they watched somebody pull a Fred Flintstone and stop a train, it's still getting completely swallowed by the news of Measure Z.
I am limping a little.
Yeah, your boots have literally the leather on the boots have peeled all the way back and have been utterly destroyed.
I love those boots.
Some new boots.
Yeah, we got you new boots. Yeah. You're fine. We'll get you some new boots.
Maybe season 3 we'll get a boot sponsor. You never.
I love boots. Cool. Like, for
Did you see
real.
how excited Gina
Sorry.
just got?
We're all like,
I'm going to gift that. I'm going to go home and find that.
I'm wearing boots right now.
cut to me emailing Eric later, like, "Hey Eric, this season can Anton start driving a Ferrari?" It's practical, but
Ferrari
it's important to his character. It's important to his character.
We're working our retirement plans. through this.
I'm like winning lotto tickets.
Ferrari
as a sponsor.
sponsor.
Yeah.
They did it. They fucking did it.
Yeah.
Congrats.
I mean, I don't know how much good these idiots can do. Not Poppy Gan. He's got this. But it's got to be better than what we had.
Yeah, but like, you know, everything we learned over the past few days, like, the corps are behind this too, apparently. Sorry, not to get all cynical, but like, you know, what's gonna change?
It's important to stay realistic. It's important to stay realistic.
Like, if Poppy knew who was really funding Measure Z, he wouldn't be happy either.
Shit.
Well, I think we can all say that, you know, we're moving in the right direction. It's just getting to where it needs to be that's going to be the trick. And like, I don't, you know, we had faith in the city to, I don't know, do the right thing or whatever, but yeah. Are they ready to like face the consequences of what they voted for, you know?
Yeah. Well, I guess
I think so.
I think it's too early to tell.
Then how about we just celebrate?
Yes, I like that. That's, yeah.
I go to the kitchen to see if what we have that's fizzy.
I'm standing over Oniko, and I'm basically like watching her and ready to like do some shit if she.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
First of all,
She is a loaded weapon, basically, like at all times.
We've all seen her.
So glancing down at Oniko, you do see the occasional like head jerk, almost like somebody who might be in a nightmare or somebody who's having just like fitful sleep. It's hard to say.
Do I have? Well, they exist in this lab. Can we hook up an EEG?
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That would confirm the presence or absence of dreams and all that
Well, then
stuff.
I think that's something that Lacey probably would have done already. Would
If
you
I
agree?
thought that it was indicated.
She's been behaving like this since you got her back to the base.
Yeah,
So
it would, I mean, if nothing else, it would be useful to know, and it would help monitor, like, in case there's seizing or any other unusual brain activity.
there's a lot of erratic brain activity. She is exhibiting all of the symptoms of somebody who has slipped into coma. But she is not behaving like somebody who has slipped into a coma. Her brain activity will behave as though someone who has gone under, but then all of a sudden it'll hit spikes. And that's when she has those restful moments. So she goes from this like placid, comfortable, sort of stoic look to suddenly looking like she's having a nightmare and then back.
Okay, so there are like coma scales based on motor function and eye opening and things like that. We should understand that she is fluctuating within that scale.
It's correct. It looks like she's dipping kind of all. She hasn't plunged deep into a coma.
Okay.
But she is definitely fluctuating on the like I would say on the upper levels of the spectrum, where she is, you know, there's that the sort of like, if you will, towards the top of the spectrum, where people who are in that state can actually hear or subconsciously aware of things around them. She's hitting that and then dipping below again, and it's all. It would not take much for Lacey to surmise, so I'll give this piece of information to you as a GM. It would not take much to surmise that the cybernetics that are installed all throughout her brain and body might be trying to reboot, or they might be trying to activate some kind of command, or they might be in conflict with her organic brain. But one thing is clear, that it's all internalized, and it seems like it seems like it's following the same pattern over and over, roughly. Like what you've probably noticed by at this point, Lacey, is that her fits are incremental. They seem to happen like every 15 to 20 minutes. She'll go into a fit and then calm.
Okay, so we're timing those intervals.
Yeah.
To see how
There are slight variations.
periodized.
There are slight variations. It's not like
The larger sample size we have, the greater we could see a pattern in the variations and decrease perception of randomness. But I guess I could look at whether there's something going on in there. could do that.
Okay, right back in the room with an enormous handful of like beers and fruit juice and like canned horchata and just whatever we had. We're like, yeah.
Look, I'm all for celebrating, but in all honesty, I don't feel comfortable with this weapon in our secret base that could no longer be secret if she wakes up.
It's secret.
Is she okay?
Not really. There's something that's going on with her brain and probably the directions from those. Why do you look around?
Anton. Shake, 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 shake.
I didn't see anything.
Sorry, you were saying. I got distracted.
Yeah, it seems like maybe like there's a brain fight with the tech.
Oh, damn.
Or it's a crash and reboot cycle.
Can we take the tech out or something? Or, I don't know. Override the technology? Well,
I would have to I would have to diagnose what the tech problem is and also do a more medical evaluation of whether the tech could be safely excised. If it is hooked into her basic autonomic function, you need that for breathing and for regulating temperature and
Are you
all of the
telling
things
us-
that you don't think of doing consciously.
You said you're gonna have to prep her? Are we gonna have to perform some kind of surgery or something?
I'm not qualified for that.
I don't know if any of us are qualified for that.
I feel like you would be the most qualified of it.
Probably.
But maybe we don't put that pressure on them right now.
I can diagnose the tech.
Anton goes back to the drink.
okay,
Okay.
but I swear, if anything happens, like if she wakes up, I'm shocking her. I don't care. Like I don't want her to wake up in here. I don't want her to know where we are.
She has signal jamming. She's not getting any words out to anyone. It's okay. That's okay. Just, please don't shock her while I'm working on the tech.
No, of course
Thank you.
not. But I'm just saying,
Okay.
not to be paranoid or anything, but you know.
All right. I'm gonna check out the tech now.
Okay.
Be careful.
Chair, hand, snack.
Drink.
Pineapple juice.
Okay.
Careful, she shook him.
No, not that one.
Oh, okay. As I'm like wiping some of the stuff like I don't mean to.
Okay.
It's okay.
Hey, I think I have a diagnostic.
Is this a first roll of the game? I think so.
Why are you putting that on me?
So with Oya and Hops keeping a very sharp eye on this lethal assassin and instrument of death laying on the bed.
Like.
You move over to your diagnostic equipment that you managed to get set up here at the base. Pops up in front of you, and again you see that three-dimensional tech display pop up in front of Lacey, Mass Effect style, and she just kind of they move this. You see them they move this like this digital readout aside and begin to pull up what looks like a neural scan of Oniko, but it also seems to have all her medical abilities on it, all of her charts, all of her like the heartbeats, and also a brief map of the nervous system. And one of the things that you guys notice looking at this nervous system scan, it looks like a very preliminary surface scan. It's not like a deep scan, like a quick medical examination sort of thing. One of the things you notice though is even if you've glanced at images of the human nervous system, Oniko's is different. It looks like either it has been added to or it was mutated from the beginning. But her nervous system is expansive and covers even more space and covers even more. It looks like it has even more connections than a typical human nervous system. It looks like it fills the entirety of her body. And some of them are not registering as organic. Some of the branches of these nervous system, some of the branches leading out to like her fingertips and around her head do not look like they were organically built. It looks like they were synthetically applied. And you begin your scan. So, all right, Lacey.
We'll get more info from that from a biopsy.
I took the right.
So tell me exactly what are you trying? What is exactly Lacey's going to do?
I'm interfacing with the tech right now
Okay.
to see what commands it is issuing, and I'm grabbing the error message logs to find out why those commands are going wrong.
Okay, this is going to be a hack roll
Okay. What's the
as you're
difficulty?
interfacing. Difficulty is 8.
Okay. That's fine. That's super fine. Okay. Yeah.
The moment you begin to, I'm guessing you're doing this using your abilities, yes?
Uh-huh.
And using the assets of the computer.
It's the whole
So you're watching that familiar look on Lacey's face as they begin to like slip into the digital world where they're beginning to interface with their brain, digitally interfacing with the computers, linking with the tech inside of Oniko's brain. And you see immediately, Lacey, you stiffen as you find the tech that's waiting for you here. The best way to describe it, because it's not really something that can be described except for metaphorically, for those of us who would not be able to comprehend what it is like to hack our brains into a computer, essentially like walking into a room expecting to find a bunch of locked doors, but instead discovering it's a giant steel wall. And as you interface with this, the first thing that you notice is the sophistication level of the security lockout inside of her command functions, inside the cybernetics of her brain, is more advanced than anything you have ever seen or heard of. The sophistication level here has not been anything that you've seen designed by anything up to date or even theorized in Popular Mechanics or any kind of like magazine or publication. And as you enter into this realm and you see these locks, these sort of digital like claws clamped down in front of you, you become aware that the level of genius or the amount of work that came into locking this down, Lacey, it's extraordinary. You've been wowed by things. Tails is a thing to be wowed by. This, you didn't think this was possible yet.
Is that why it's a difficulty 8?
Got it.
Okay.
But it's Lacey.
But it's Lacey.
They'll be fine.
Why do you say that?
No pressure.
Yeah, I know, right?
As we're on either side.
Okay. I will expend a level of effort. I have my wrist computer for an asset on computers. Sweet Baby helps me with using devices. I have specialization in all tasks involving electrical machines.
So you've got your 2 assets, you got your specialization, you're spending a level of effort.
Do I get coding? I often don't with hacking.
I was going to say, I don't
all-
think you would here. I don't think coding
So
would.
if I were writing a skeleton key would be the idea. Cool. Okay. And then I do have my technopathic powers. For
Okay.
2 power shifts.
Okay. So you automatically get 2 power shifts from your superpower.
Right.
So the Callisto 6 energy source supplies you with that, and so you will drop from 8 to 7 to 6. And then the rest of these will take you down to what?
I think with that 1 level of effort, that gets me to 7.
7, so you don't have to roll?
No, because there's 1 left.
Oh, so your difficulty is now 1?
Yeah.
So you roll 3 or better? All right, make a roll.
Boy.
Natural 20.
Oh!
First roll of the game and you natted?
Pineapple juice.
That's the key.
That might even be Lacey's first crit. They don't crit a lot.
It's true. I don't know that you've ever rolled a 20. I've been watching past rolls of 20s.
That's Blade's fridge.
Wow.
How weird could it be?
You have to curse or drink pineapple juice. We have figured it out.
Yeah. Pineapple
You
juice.
guys, this is it.
Pineapple
Sponsor.
juice.
Pineapple.
Yes. Sponsorship, please.
Yeah.
Hit
Come
us
on,
up.
Vix.
Hit us up, Dole.
Dole whip.
Dole, hit us up.
Dole whips.
So with the 20, you have the option of having a major effect. Of course, since you're not attacking, that's what you're going to get. So Lacey, this wall, sure, it's not like anything you've ever seen before, but the world's never seen Lacey either. This wall has been designed to interface and block every security, anti-security viral software program that has ever been written by humankind. Nothing in this security software is ready for a technopath. Nothing in the security software that's protecting Oniko's inner functions is prepared for the improvisational genius of a technopath, and it cannot adapt quickly enough. You find the gaps in the code, and it's literally, Lacey, it's like for Sam speak, it's like when you're in that smooth glide during a good swim. you just find that flow, and the wall literally goes, and like a gate, an iron gate, just. You all watch Oniko's body stiffen on the table, and instead of like becoming erratic, she goes completely neutral. Lacey, you begin to see the command function and interface codes come up on Oniko. There are multiple programs working through here, and you're actually getting a good idea of what the inner workings of Oniko look like. The cybernetic, the cybernetic, I guess the best way to say the encasing of her cybernetics all throughout her body is almost complete. The bones are organic. They do have some synthetic enhancement, particularly in the joints, which would allow for some superhuman reactions times and whatnot. But that's usually fed through the nervous system, which you also see synthetic strands of nervous system that have been. That's something else I need to bring up too as you're looking at this. As you know, we are in the age of cybernetic enhancement.
Right.
And there has been a lot of leaps and bounds in helping people not only acquire cybernetic limbs, but recently, a lot of your research has gone into this up to the point, but allowing people to have cybernetic limbs that actually will, and this is actually happening today, believe it or not, but allowing people's brain to actually be able to know when they're touching something and whatnot. This is advanced to the point where today, people using cybernetic limbs actually have the option of being able to say, oh, this is hot, this is cold. Their brains will register these things. It's gotten pretty advanced. Lacey, the science, the synthetic weaves in her nervous system, again, you've never seen anything like this. This is decades ahead of what Cassium is working on right now. The tech that is running through Oniko's body is extraordinary, to the point where Lacey, I imagine, knowing Lacey, it's cause to be dazzled. The tech that is at work in this woman's body is extraordinary. It can't be emphasized enough. And if you, there's nothing today that resembles any of this. There's nothing that could be done on the levels. Some of this stuff looks like it's been updated at the cellular level. You see a lot of evidence of very active, from the looks of it, very successfully active nanite technology moving through the system. That looks like it's triggering off and enhancing neuron fires to the brain. Whatever Oniko experiences, you're becoming aware that her abilities to move quickly are almost on the precog levels. And in fact, might enable her to be able to dictate through impressions around her. She might know what you're about to do 5 seconds ahead of what you're about to do just by reading you.
Challenge accepted.
Her reaction time isn't just her reflexes. It looks like she has the ability to read movement in ways that you've never seen before. To answer the big question, the cybernetic enhancements to her system are so extensive, there is no question that removing them would kill her.
No,
There's no question.
off the table.
Here's the other thing that you find kind of disturbing. There's no way that a lot of this stuff could have been applied when she was an adult. A lot of this stuff would have had to have been grown in synthetically into her system. It's very likely that over the course of her life, she was continuously updated and applied and applied and applied. And you do see protocols running. You see all sorts of protocols running. These lines of code are just as sophisticated as the tech that's moving through her. When Kylan Kraus kind of crudely called her inhuman on a few of those occasions, you're getting an idea as to why. Because it looks like the commands that she's receiving, the command codes that's coming through, none of them appear to be operating on any kind of logistical basis that a human might operate on. In other words, the Oniko that you have met and have encountered probably only exists as a computer program. It looks like this is a body that has been hijacked by a AI or some kind of intelligence.
So disturbing.
And it currently right now is disconnected from its source code and is running through all of these repeating like safety pathways, just like trying to reboot the system. And there it is again. With that roll, you can feel it. There is a consciousness here that's not a part of the code. There is a being somewhere inside this person that has been locked out, maybe for God knows how long. You can only imagine the implications of what it must be like to be locked into your body that's being controlled. It's very, let's just go into the, I know you're thinking we're having Janelle Rue flashbacks here.
Pencils. I know, I was doing it. I was breaking psychic ones.
But it's very similar, except for that sort of a, think of it more of a 7 of 9 kind of thing, where this is somebody who probably at a very young child, as a very young child, was slowly removed from having any control of their life. And has been, it's a chilling implication, but it looks like you're encountering a consciousness that has essentially been in solitary confinement for decades.
Sparks fly out of the TV.
Did you do that?
You just see some of the tech, some of the screens in the entire room fluctuate for a second, like.
What's happening? What do we do?
What? Going on?
Muma, you've seen Lacey angry before, but you see. I mean, I'll let Sam tell you what Muma sees.
Lacey doesn't show things.
Yep.
So you can see all of those
Yep.
things that are sub-threshold and just how tight their hands are and Luna.
I saw this.
Okay, so I have a few more questions based on what I've seen.
Sure. Yeah, you've rolled high enough, so I'll give
Awesome.
you some leeway here.
With this coding architecture and these protocols, do they look like something that could have evolved incrementally from any existing computer architecture, or do they look like they were ground up from a completely different source
That one.
than our existing
That one.
yeah.
That one.
Yeah.
And it looks like she has, over the course of her life, probably consistently received system updates as the consciousness in her body started to assert itself. And essentially, it's Winter Soldier, right? It's basically every now and then has to go back and get reprogrammed and then set loose again. It's the same sort of setup where it looks like she was constantly having to be rebooted to keep her in line.
So the logs would theoretically have the location as part of a go-to
Yes.
kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Yoink.
Okay. There is, it not only gives you, Lacey, knowing the implications of what you are about to see, you not only see that it gives location of where these reboots happened, but there are visual logs from Oniko's point of view
Oh, my God.
that have been stored.
I pulled them. I don't watch them right now.
Okay.
Jeez, Eric.
I'll be making notes of everything about this architecture.
Okay.
And passing through Sweet Baby to note, because I have a lot of code to build to support the consciousness,
Yeah, that's a
because
hell of a
that
thing.
requires an alternate architecture to take control of the extant motor systems that were like conditioned on
Mm-hmm.
working from that AI. So I'm going to have to build something
Yeah.
to support Oniko functioning as
You're essentially gonna have to build an assist device.
Yeah.
For Oniko.
Well-
And let me just also say this: you're coming across Oniko's last command lines.
What did they say?
Well, one, there's a kill order on Kylan Kraus.
Which one?
By which we should understand Kylan and not Fletcher, yes?
That's correct. The Kylan. When you discover the kill order, it's the Kylan that escaped to find you guys.
Got it.
Do y'all remember where you left him, by the way?
In the warehouse that I ratatouille'd.
That's right.
The rats.
With the rats.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, we should probably go back and just bring him a sandwich or something.
Here, have some ice cream. Shut
He'll
up.
be fine. He'd take
We've been ordering Uber Eats to his location.
Kill order on Kylan. There's a capture order on the 6 of you.
Interesting.
Yeah. Take alive.
We
Keep bodies intact if must kill.
Okay.
It's specified. That being specified is kind of terrifying. But there's also a lot of other command codes. Like you see a transcript of the speech that was spoken on air. If you remember correctly, Oniko was actually not the one that read it. Oniko, you've yet to hear her speak. Instead, it was done through interpreter.
So we can see the
sign.
protocols for the signs.
Yep, you see all of them. And interestingly enough, it looks like Oniko using sign language. It does look like Oniko was born hearing impaired. And it doesn't look like that was actually ever fixed. It looks like it was replaced. You've seen the hearing, you've seen the replacements before.
So they did like a modern 2119 cochlear implant kind
Exactly,
of thing where you
yes.
kill the auditory nerve itself, but now
yeah.
digital input, which presumably,
Yeah.
has evolved on existing function. Interesting. Okay.
But
They fucking came for disabled people again.
Cass, can you have some of those cookies, please?
Yeah.
Thank you.
There's a person in there. There's a person in there.
Okay,
There's a
wake up.
person.
Smell. Just smell. Just smell. Listen, focus on one sense. One sense. Just smell the cookies, okay?
Is anger a sense?
Yeah. No, not this one. Not this one. Not this one right now. Focus. Don't focus on the anger. Focus on the anger when you can do something about it. You can't do something about it right now, okay?
Give her another juice.
Cass, give them another juice. Thank you. Okay. Do you want some juice? Do you want a non-crushed cookie?
In a minute. We have to focus. There's a person in there.
Yes.
The Oniko we know is not. She was
Oh, fuck that!
puppeted by AI code and updates, and they took a person. They took.
Find them and we'll punch the hell out of them.
They did this to her.
Okay.
How do we help
How
her?
do we fix this? How can we reverse it? Like
She's still in there, so it's up to. There's hope, okay? She's still in there.
I have to build a new architecture so that she can run all of that stuff.
Okay.
So I have to put that on the list.
Okay.
It's a really long list now. She was supposed to kill Kylan. She was supposed to capture us
Capture, okay?
and keep our bodies.
What?
Capture us or capture our bodies?
What does that mean? Elaborate.
oh, thank you for reminding me. The capture order, the whole moving the Callisto 6 energy source to the train was a trap. It was set to get you guys. And it looks like it was probably thwarted by the fact that
That we're awesome?
sapient computer glitch in the dark decided to blow it the hell up.
Or that.
Okay, that's why it was there.
That's why it was there.
That's
It
why-
looks
That
like
answers
they
the
were-
question.
It looks like they were setting this whole thing up to get all 6 of you at the same time.
That's why what was where? What?
They were gonna
The
blow us up?
Callisto 6 bomb was a honeypot.
A what?
Trap
trap.
for us.
Did I get that wrong? I read it in
No,
the
that was
spinal
perfect.
No, that was a.
We're either the bear or the bees. I don't understand really
Oh,
get
we're
that
bees.
metaphor.
No, we're the bear. We're Winnie
we're
the
the
Pooh.
bear.
We're the people that were supposed to attract and then get
the
murdered.
flies to the sweet thing, right?
Huh?
Yeah.
You tracked.
Hey, are you okay? You blew the TV up.
No one. That is not okay.
Yeah,
Clearly.
fair.
That is the correct response to that.
No argument from me.
Okay.
Can she be saved?
Can we talk to her?
Not until I build that code.
Okay.
So I have to do that first, and that takes time.
I say let's put that on the top of your list, and then we can all take shifts watching her and make sure that she doesn't do anything or wake up until you can help her get control.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Can you see this working? Does this work in any scenario?
Ooh.
Can you see it?
Let me try. Can I do premonition?
I'm gonna dip into the future and
Oh.
see, pull a Doc Strange and see what
She
you can
wakes
dig
up
out
and
of that.
slices all us up.
She can't. We took her weapons away.
That's true.
Well,
Yeah,
you took her
or
tools
premonition,
of
yeah.
weaponry away.
Sure. Yes, her body is also very much a weapon.
say.
But slicing is probably not the one that's going to
Slice is
happen.
probably not in the order of the day.
So I want to use it. I want to learn a random fact about her. That's what it.
Okay. And that's just a spend, right? You don't have to roll.
Yeah, I guess it's just a spend. 2 intellect points.
2 intellect points, but you have an edge in intellect, don't you?
I do.
So it's only one intellect point to learn the future.
I have an edge of 2.
You have an edge of 2. You get to do this for free.
Yeah.
It's at this point I'm going to go ahead and tell the audience that in between season 1 and 2, they have all ranked up to tier 2. So
We got some
Season
tricks.
6 team is definitely
So
not to be screwed with right now. All right, so Oya,
That was in my.
you look down at this. You look down at the still form of Oniko, which is still stiffened, even as Lacey has withdrawn from her mind. Of all the abilities that manifest, some of them are like, obviously Anton's is pretty obvious when it happens, and when Hops does it, it's spectacular. But the ambient power display in the room, whenever Oya dips into reality manipulation and gazing into the future, is on a whole new level of haunting and awe-inspiring. Even now, as you raise your hands up, Oya, the glow begins to form around your fingertips. And all of you begin to sort of, it's an indescribable feeling.
I'm also watching your hands very carefully.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
You gaze off into the future. You're going to see, now what exactly are you looking for as you look into the possible realities in front of you? What's your question?
I'm looking to see if we're able to talk to her. Is
Or
that-
no, if
will-
Sam's
will-
building the code,
If the code works
Will-
in any scenario.
Will the code work then? Yeah.
will we be able to untrap her, basically?
If there's
You-
is there a realm of possibility?
Yeah.
Your eyes eventually begin to roll into the back of your head as as all your visuals just give way, and you begin to gaze off into possibility, choices that are being made. You begin to hear voices, some of them from your childhood, some of them possibly from your future or possible futures. And you can hear distant echoes of Luma offering Lacey cookies, and you see a brief image of Cass slapping herself in the face with glitter, and you kind of like sifting through all of the experiences that you've been through and begin to pull back the curtain of this possible future. It's impressions, sounds, and feelings that you get as you are tipping into this track of choices that you make. And you hear a voice you've never heard before, a woman's voice. You hear, it sounds a little on the raspy side, like older. And for a moment, I'm throwing a GM intrusion at you.
All right.
Um,
I'm not gonna
Don't like it.
block it.
Okay.
Oh God.
You lose your concentration
Oh.
because the voice, you hear what is unmistakably an older version of yourself say, "Oh yeah," and you snap out of it immediately.
Would you work? Did it work?
Oh yeah. As you snap out of it, you don't know why, you don't know how, but inexplicably, your mind immediately connects it to the image of the woman you saw in the dropship. Immediately, it just clicks suddenly. You know exactly who said that voice, and you have no idea why you know that.
I know.
But everything tells you. You just reached out to yourself.
Yep.
It completely blocks.
Oh yeah.
I don't. Sorry, I don't know if it works.
Okay. Restorative cafecito. Yep, on it.
Yeah.
Oh, and I leave to get that. Okay, hey, that doesn't mean it doesn't work. Thanks for trying.
Yeah. Yeah. No problem. It's all good. Thanks.
Okay. I can't do this right now. I'll do
Okay.
this soon. I'm worked up.
Yeah.
It's okay. We can all watch and make sure nothing happens until you're ready to start. Like, it's fine. She's fine here, right? We mean,
Yeah.
she's under observation.
She's
She's
in
hooked
that
up.
loop.
She's
The AI is disconnected from any of the motor functions. That shouldn't reconnect. That shouldn't. That's why it's doing the pure test cycles mostly. I just I need
stuff? We got like a whole room of junk. Always helps me.
Shouldn't they rest, maybe?
I
Sort of
guess that's
center
good
themselves
too.
again?
I thought there was that research that suggested that if you break things, it actually just makes you more angry. But I've always tried not breaking things, so okay.
We can use the
Let's go
training
break
room.
things.
There you have it.
Cass has gone through like 20 dummies already.
Okay.
Ridiculous.
I'm gonna
That's
try breaking
one thing that
things.
we can try.
And I'm
You
I'm
want to break?
hesitant.
Not super on the research. I'm not sure, but
Yeah, I think I want to break things.
Give them a plate.
oh yeah. Okay.
That's easy to break.
Cut to a few rooms away. Lacey in front of one of the training dummies that Cass is all but decimated with her knuckles. A few.
Montage.
This is again. This kind of reminds me. It kind of reminds me of that moment in the Matrix where it's like, Morpheus is fighting Neo, and everyone just goes running to see what happens. Like everyone kind of peeking in to watch Cass and Lacey into this room in front of these training dummies.
I go to the kitchen.
You find Sal.
Wonderful.
Sal-
I don't
Sal is
really
in the
wanna see
kitchen.
My friend be angry for that long.
Okay, as everyone's kind of crowded into the other room, and you hear
Yeah.
thudding sounds and probably some laughter. Sal walks over to you, just and stands over you.
Happy undersea, Sal.
We're out of coffee.
Oh, are you thirsty?
Thirsty.
Oh, okay. We got lots of pineapple juice. It's really tangy. Kind of makes your tongue go numb. Try it.
Takes it and just drinks it and goes.
More.
Oh, okay. 3 juice boxes.
Takes it.
Okay, bye.
And the thudding as Sal just begins to watch. He takes a juice box and just crushes it over his mouth.
Okay, I take to organizing the kitchen.
Okay.
Cass just pulled a bunch of things out of the shelf, so I'm gonna put them back.
Yeah. Okay, you're just putting the cereal
Okay.
and just gonna.
Everything's fine. Fine.
We're fine.
I stayed with Aniko.
Oniko. Who else is staying in the room with Oniko?
I'm gonna stay.
Okay, so the
I'm
two of you.
also
What's that?
gonna stay.
All right, so Cass and Lacey have gone off. You're teaching Lacey how to throw a punch.
If you want, what sounds good? There's crushing, there's throwing stuff. You could like do a thing with a robot, maybe with that.
Oh, they don't want to do that anymore for now.
Okay.
So just me. Maybe I can see how you do it first. See one, do one, teach one. They say that in medical school that I never went to.
See one, do one, punch. Each one.
So I'm curious. Did you take any more? What's your? I want to know how strong Cass is now.
Well,
Did you up your strength at all?
we don't have
She
power
wrote down
shift stuff
the
yet.
most.
Oh yes, extremely.
Extremely.
I do. I have my
Everywhere
2
we-
power shifts in strength tasks,
Okay.
just at all time. But I did train in heavy bashing.
Really?
Yeah.
You got that now, huh?
I don't know. I did all that combat practice.
Do you want a heavy bash?
I think technically I need a weapon to do that, so I pick up the nearest extremely heavy thing.
Okay, you pick up one of the other dummies.
Yep.
These dummies which are weighted down and able to. This is stuff that professional boxers are not able to punch over. You lift one of these things up and hit it with the other thing. Hit the thing with the other thing. Okay, so what's impressive is not. I mean, Cass looks kind of like an Olympian getting ready to throw a javelin. The way she just kind of picks this thing up and then uses the heft and slams this thing down. And as you kind of bounce back from the hit, there is something very Hawk about her right now. Just the way she kind of bounces back. There's just something about the way she carries herself. But you see that hit, bam, and then you kind of bounce back for a second.
So you can feel it. Like it. I feel like it's like math, but for your body, where it helps.
Yeah, there's angular momentum going on there. It's
Make it work for you. Let your anger work for you.
maybe you could show me again?
You said teach one.
You have to do. I don't know how the phrase works, but okay.
Lacey continually asks for demo and not participation. By the time they got here, they were like, this is really not for me.
Vicariously, you are getting all of your anger out through watching this
That's
woman
exactly
do superhuman
what's
feats of strength against a poor defensive
Things
side.
are being destroyed.
It's the gratification of watching your friend just exhibit this incredible feat of strength and bam, over and over and over. Back in the room with Oniko, the three of you have just been kind of sitting there silently looking at her. And again, she's kind of begun to return to her pattern of every now and then just twitching a little bit in the bed, but laying calmly. Doesn't fight the restraints or anything.
And there are physical restraints.
Oh,
Lacey
yeah.
Lacey has secured her. She is well, and she's well taken care of there. If she was cast, you'd have something to worry about, but Oniko seems to be pretty well secured.
Nobody's
I really want to talk to her. I wonder what it would be like to, I don't know, to be hijacked by some computer program.
This is why I don't let them put any of that phone stuff and, you know. I know obviously it's not the same, but still, you know, it freaks me out. I know this is complete stretch, but the only thing Hops is thinking is like kind of seeing a similarity between Oniko and her mom.
No.
Being like it's a stretch. Obviously, her mom's not that,
I mean, it's a stretch
but it's
by
like being a
there's
slave to technology. You know,
I
like
was gonna.
you know.
It's a stretch by circumstance for sure, but
Yeah.
there's certainly a likeness to the fact that your mom, at least your mom, behaves the same way.
Right. It's like
As Oniko's behaving
yeah,
right now.
Right.
Yeah.
What do you think's gonna happen? To her, to us?
I mean, we have the new CEO of what was it, Cassium?
Pyramid Star?
Pyramid Star.
Right?
There's a chirping sound coming through the communications devices to all of you.
Huh?
It's you see the register come up. It's the number that you gave Kylan to call you.
Wait, Fletcher or the?
Kylan.
Oh no, the one in
We
the.
did not get
Yep.
Fletcher,
Whoops,
I
we
remember.
forgot about him. My bad.
I open up the message.
You guys see Oya's link connect to the call. Since it's who else is connected to this call? I'm guessing everybody. Yeah.
I'm not.
You're not? Okay. Yeah,
I
you
have
wouldn't.
my-
You have
yeah.
your phone in your back pocket.
I have my tablet, but I'm not.
Yeah.
Is it pinging us all? Because we're in different
Yeah.
ones now.
It's like think of it as like a 6-way call. Just
Sure.
yeah.
Especially just after that
Okay.
whole thing. Yeah, I'm just gonna look over.
You see all of them reacting, and Anton's glasses lighting up like they're getting a call, basically. Oh wait, do you have the lenses or do you have the glasses? Don't you?
Yeah.
Anton has the glasses. Okay, cool. Yeah, you see Kylan pop up on your screen. It's for those of you using the contacts. I think that's you, Lacey. Is that right? You and Oya.
I haven't, but I'm doing this for her benefit.
Okay. Oh, okay, cool. So for you, Lacey, it's a digital image that you can kind of see in front of you, but you see Kylan's face pop up. It's very dark where he is. Even though it's early morning for you guys, or I should say late morning, you see Kylan's face pop up and says, "Hello, friends.
Hi.
Sorry to bother you. It's just I've been in this warehouse for a while, and I'm not sure where to go, what to do."
Quick question, out of context. He cannot. Is it a two-way thing where he's?
He can't see anything you don't want him to see.
Perfect, because I was gonna position my
Nope.
body between
Privacy
him and
issues
Oniko. Okay,
were
perfect.
taken into account when
Great.
this tech was made.
Thanks, Lacey.
But you do see that just from the shadows being cast on him, it's dark where he's at.
Oh, I'm sorry. We've been busy.
No, I understand. Should I just continue waiting here?
Are you hungry?
Hungry and also waiting for an assassin to kick in the door and kill me at any particular moment.
Right. Yes.
It's probably not happening.
Is she dead?
What? Who? No. Who? What are you talking about?
Sit tight. We're gonna bring you some food. Over and out. Hang up.
You hang up. Everyone else kind of gets this look on their face like, are y'all supposed to hang up now too?
I do it quick. I'm like,
Beep. Yeah, see you soon. Bye. Okay. Grab up instinctually.
He
grab
looks
a
at you,
pot
Lacey,
from
and
under
goes,
the. Start cooking.
I was gonna mention that there was some.
Lacey just. Guess I'm going now. You see Kylan's confused face just as the power line shuts out.
I think I should probably work on that code now. Thank you for teaching me.
You sure you don't want to take one shot? Throw something?
I want to surge a nearby light onto the dummy and do my tech onslaught.
Oh, you want to surge a nearby panel on the wall?
Yeah,
Okay. Go ahead and do your tech onslaught.
sure.
The difficulty hit this training dummy is 1.
Okay. Then I don't actually need to roll.
I didn't think you did.
I only have one.
How much damage does this do?
8.
8. Okay. So you hear this and ozone, a very familiar smell thanks to Hops because of the lightning energy. There's an arc of electricity and energy that just races from the wall to the dummy and lights it up on fire immediately. And the moment it lights up, you hear and water begins to spray down on all of you.
Oh, the soup! What the hell?
Wait, even us?
No. Sorry, it's just it's just in that lab. No, if it was spraying down on everybody, the next thing you would hear is Sal losing his mind and smashing the place
He
to
has
hell.
the raincoat.
Here's the raincoat.
He's a raincoat.
He's the raincoat.
Raincoat
He's
doesn't
the
protect you from phobia. It just protects you from being wet.
Light him up, Lacey.
And you're being drenched. And you hear, Lacey, as you're just sitting there drinking this filtered water coming in through the ceiling, you hear your chair tell you that high levels of rain have been detected and that you should seek shelter immediately.
Thank you, baby.
So we should have some kind of a group meeting right now, right? To figure out what we're gonna do about Kylan?
yeah,
We
Yeah?
need more spices in this kitchen.
Okay.
yeah, we should.
Should we go meet the others? I mean, I don't want to leave her alone.
Okay, you stay here.
Okay.
I'll go get Cass and Lacey. Do you want to go get Luma?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, meet back here.
Okay.
Okay, great. My body's gonna stand still, and then my head and neck is gonna stretch.
I leave the room.
As
Like
you're
a
leaving the
normal
room,
person.
Anton's
hey,
face is
Anton.
right next to you as you're walking
I'm
out.
on it.
Okay, great.
Do we have any Tupperware?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
So
I can just bring the pot, I guess.
Wrong room.
Yeah. Wait,
Bye.
so I pass his head
Yeah,
retracting. I'm
sorry.
like, wait, I was supposed to go there.
I know. I'm nervous.
Bye, Anton.
Training room.
And then I go.
I'm still laughing maniacally.
Oh, hey.
Soaking wet.
Hey. Yes.
yeah, there is a smoking dummy and 2 destroyed dummies on the floor, and the place is currently being drenched. There's also a sparking. Looks like an outlet on the wall has completely blown off and has been cindered, and it is occasional spark going.
Was Hops in here? I thought I was with her the whole time. Hey, y'all want to come back into this meeting room whenever you're done?
Sure.
Actually, like now, right now.
Shuts off.
Thank you. Okay. Pot and lid. That should simmer. Okay, meeting room. Let's go.
Luma, as you reach the meeting room, you see a drenched Cass and Lacey into the room, just trailing.
Did you break? Did you break one of the fish tanks?
There's a trail of, like, 2-sided trail of water behind Lacey that anyone who's been around me this past week in the LA rains would recognize. Just a little mud trail everywhere I go.
Okay, you're not wearing wetsuits. What happened? It went great.
Fire.
Wonderful. Fire? What? Not anymore.
Water!
You see Sal's pointing at you.
Okay, I'm ready to work on the project now.
Okay, well, we got another
Let me get you a towel.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go get a towel.
Okay.
Here? No.
Towel.
No.
Towel.
Okay.
Dry off.
Fine.
So
I shake like a puppy dog.
Are you out of your mind? It's one thing to bring someone unconscious down here, but Kylan, the man that we've been, I don't know, fighting the entire time, who knows every master plan, we want to bring him down here? No.
What are we supposed to do?
Oh, I was just gonna feed him. I've got some seafood
We
gumbo
can just
cooking.
leave him there until we figure it out. I don't know.
I made a lot of it.
Well,
Like feed him sometime.
when are we gonna figure it out?
I guess now.
That sounds so good right now.
Seafood gumbo.
Yeah.
That does sound.
Sounds so good.
Yeah, that does sound good. But when are we gonna figure this out?
Who was that?
Okay.
Can't someone just you talk to people and make their memories go weird?
Oh yeah, I can do that. You can do that too.
So, it's not such a big deal if we bring him here, right?
No, we should not. Okay.
I'm very
what part is secret based?
Yeah.
None of you understand.
I'm very
there are ethical
persuasive,
implications.
You do have.
We're not.
I'm just gonna throw this out there too, just because your characters would all, just because we're coming back into the season, just to
Sure.
give you, you do have a second base. If you remember correctly, you do have
Yeah, Lindy's mom's place.
Kylan Prime's place.
Oh, that place.
Or my mom's place. Yeah, let's put the killer in my mom.
Yeah.
They're
very
very
much-
much now.
We could go to Kylan Prime.
That's true. He was, though, very much hiding from himself for a long time. Maybe that's a reunion he
We don't.
should approve.
Well, first of all, the reason why he's hiding in the first place is because
There's
an
too many.
assassin was after him, and that is no longer in the equation. We don't have to tell him
Yes,
that.
but-
Maybe we can just tell him, hey, it's
I sort of
been
told.
dealt with. Oh, right. Well,
Sorry, I'm
no, it's
Cass,
fine.
I think that we're fine. I hope you don't take this the wrong way. I don't know if everything that you say is something he's gonna take super seriously.
I seem complimented by that.
Yeah. Yes.
What I'm saying is, I mean, he probably doesn't even know that Measure Z is passed, you know? There's not cable in the warehouse, that's for sure. But all I'm saying is if...
He's got to be connected somehow.
And he gave
No, he's
called
not.
us.
We made sure of that. He only had our number.
Oh yeah.
All I'm saying,
Well,
if we go, we feed him whatever. He can go. He can do whatever he wants now.
well,
Not much to go to back.
you said
Back
that
to?
Oniko had an order in her, right? Mm-hmm. So someone put that order in her.
Yeah.
So even though the assassin's gone, we don't know how many more there are.
Can we figure out who put that order in?
Yes, but not immediately. I have an idea of where that location could be, where a person might be, but I could be completely wrong and conflating it with where she got firmware updates.
Oh.
Where
The one might lead to the other, though.
Yeah.
Right. So possibly, but not immediately.
Okay, so right now in the warehouse, he is safe. We bring him food, maybe an air mattress, a solar-powered lamp. I don't know, whatever we want. Bring him a few basic comforts, and he can just stay there. He's safe there. We can figure out what to do with him later. He is
Eventually-
not the priority right now.
Lindy, eventually somebody's going to find him in there. Somebody in this city is going to stumble across an incredibly famous CEO hanging out
Who's
in an
disappeared
abandoned warehouse.
famously.
Who disappeared.
Okay, well then that's an issue that we'll have to deal with when that happens. I don't know. There's too much at stake. We can't bring him here.
Let's just
I
bring
agree.
Kylan Prime.
Should we give him a?
We
heads up?
should.
Should we call Kylan Prime and give him a heads up?
We can do it
at
on the
least-
way. Either way, we need to leave here and go to him because people need to eat, even if they're CEOs.
I agree, but we also have to remember Fletcher's been hiding from him for years. No, Kylan, sorry, has been hiding from Fletcher
Tell me about
for
it.
years.
And
And
then we just bring him to.
now we just, you know,
Things.
I think he might need a stake in this decision. I know if it was the roles were reversed, I wouldn't want someone I've been hiding with for years show up at my house. That is my only safe place.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Well, so then we'll talk on the way. We can make calls.
All right. All I'm saying is, right now the warehouse, he'll be fine there for a little bit. We don't have to
true.
decide today. This might be an issue for tomorrow. Today we have this problem. Yes, we'll bring him food.
Yeah, and
But today this should be our priority.
we should also make him tell us more.
Yeah.
Cause like last time we talked to him, he was like, "Oh, I don't know more than this, but like I'm not the one you should be." Whatever he said.
So we're
Like
gonna go.
he needs to give us more to go on.
We're gonna go get food. What kind of food, Luma?
Oh, seafood gumbo.
We're gonna
It's
go
okay.
get
It's simmering.
seafood gumbo.
No, I made it.
She's making it.
We're gonna
Can you make
deliver.
it suck?
It doesn't have any spices. We don't have any in the
Very
kitchen.
bland. That's good.
It's
Let
mostly
him
just
suffer.
water and
Okay.
fish and
We're
some
bringing
sauces that I found
lamb.
in the cupboard.
Seafood gumbo
Ugh. Okay.
to Kylan in a warehouse,
I can improvise.
and then
Look,
on top
torture's
of that,
usually wrong, but
oh, torture!
no.
I
Just
thought this was an
food torture.
interrogation.
Making
We're gonna
anybody
interrogate
eat
him, right?
bland
Torture.
seafood gumbo, that's torture.
Yeah.
I
Yes,
miss
Lazy.
yes,
Isn't
I
he
agree.
white? That's probably his.
Oh, I guess for him that would be nice. Put some mayo on it. He'll like that.
Nice burn.
Lazy.
So delivering him bland seafood gumbo,
Covered in
I
mayo.
have
You
pride in my cooking.
interrogating him, making a call on the way. But when we arrive, we're gonna be good cop, bad cop, good cop, bad cop, good cop, bad cop.
Oh, bad cop.
I'll be
Obvious.
bad cop. I really don't like. I still don't trust him, and I don't like him. Bad cop.
Same.
Okay.
But wait, you said that you had a location for where
But not
Oniko
yet.
Or
was?
do you still need to get that location?
That. I want to work on one thing at a time.
Right, but what I'm saying, if we go deliver the seafood, get information, we could get even more information if we go to this location after. I'm not,
Yeah.
What's more vital, the location or the information? Do we have the information to get to the location, or do we need to go to the location, come back to this location to then obtain that information?
I'm so lost.
What?
Cass, take 15
can-
points of intellect damage.
We can bring all the information we need if we want to go there. I'm not sure if that's where we want to go first. I think we should table that for now until after we talk to Oniko. Because
Yeah.
Oniko could probably tell us about the location because she went there.
Yeah, I want to talk to Oniko.
Okay.
So you said that we could take the information to the location? That's going to need an explanation.
Are you just saying lots of things with Asian at the end of it?
No, I'm not meaning to.
Kind of are.
It's just his inclination, exasperation.
Oh,
So,
this is bringing me
step
great
one
frustration.
is going to be to talk to Oniko.
Yes.
Step one, I have to code. Can I code, please?
Well, we can't
Can
talk
I
to her
help?
now, obviously, in a state. So
Lacey, can I help? I have an idea of how I can help.
okay.
Because the thing is,
Genius.
once we talk, once you get, past all the security and everything,
That's done.
you're past the security. So once you create this new coding structure for her to operate, she's gonna need to train in it and learn how to do that. I can create the training program.
Perfect. Collaboration.
Collaboration.
that's another
nervous
Shin
now.
word.
I'm catching it.
Cooperation.
All
I'm
right.
going to need some
cool.
meditation.
Celebration.
Pineapple juice.
Combo breaker.
Okay. I'm ready to do the thing now.
If anybody needs me, I'm going to be standing by watching Oniko, but I'm just going to be relaxing.
Does that mean he's going to be in 2 different rooms again?
Probably.
I'll try to remain in this one room.
Do
Whatever you need to do, yeah.
Best of my ability.
It looks cool.
It's fine.
Thanks. Good luck, everybody.
So what are we doing?
All right. I'm building a coding.
All right, so
Yeah.
you're going into your montage right now. You're into your tech
Yeah.
montage.
To the blanket nest of coding.
All right. What else? What is everybody else doing?
Actually, since we need to go, perhaps I can set Sweet Baby up to pilot because Sweet Baby is my co-pilot. Pilot Amelia to the mainland from Blue Dolphin, and I can work while Sweet Baby's piloting. And we can compress tasks. Would that work?
We're gonna split the party.
No, we're keeping all the party together.
Oh.
I'm coding from the minivan rather than I'm coding and then we get in the minivan.
But you don't need to do any of that coding to then interface with Oniko, who is
Yeah.
staying here at the base?
Yeah, it's just a question if we wanted to tie up Oniko stuff or
Like,
if
who's
we
delivering
wanted
the
to deliver gumbo.
Well, I think we all got to deliver and interrogate together.
Yeah, that happens either way.
And I guess the question is, so that for my understanding, do we want to have the place that we can go to after Kylan warehouse? Or do we want to go do
That's
that?
actually solid. Yeah,
Come
so then
back
I should do this here.
Yeah.
And then
Before
we
we
get all
leave.
get in the minivan. Solid. Solid.
Got it. Okay.
Also, should we leave her alone?
Not alone.
No.
Oh,
No,
Sal's here.
We're here.
Sal's here.
Yeah.
Also a feature as well.
She doesn't need coffee
Or
or
pineapple
juice.
Maybe she wants
Okay, stop it. Both of you. Stop pointing. That's very rude.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Okay.
As long
Anton should
As
know
long as
better.
you point with purpose, it's okay.
Anton.
Respectfully. Sal.
Respect, Anton.
Respect, Sal. Okay, now sit down.
Sitting down.
Cross your legs. Put your hands out.
Dear God.
You're gonna want to chant your.
Now we know he's
Just do it.
Yep.
Sits
You
down,
wanna-
crosses
Yes.
his legs, puts his hands out.
Good. Bring them down to your hips. Relax your shoulders. Okay. Put your hands up into a nice, comfortable position.
You do the hokey pokey.
Comfort.
And you, sorry.
Good. Close your eyes, and chant your mantra. But don't tell me what it is. Okay, good. Your mantra is your mantra. Just keep repeating mantra over and over and over again, Sal.
Mantra.
Mantra. Keep
this-
going. Keep your eyes closed.
Keep going.
Keep going.
Mantra.
You don't stop until a new thought occurs. Keep.
Ooh, new thought.
What is it?
Coffee.
You, my friend, have just meditated. Congratulations. Enjoy your coffee. Yes.
Med.
Yes.
Yes.
Mad.
Med.
Now go on your journey to get your coffee.
Oh dear God. Oh dear Lord.
We're out of coffee.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention.
Okay, we'll get that on the way.
Without coffee.
my God. Oh, I always have some backup. I pull out a little thermos and I pour it. You want some?
yeah, yours, yeah.
But we do need to get
And
some more
butts
coffee.
All right.
I'll add that to the list. Coffee.
Okay.
Coffee, spicy.
Coffee spices.
So we go into our.
Yeah, collaboration.
I'm gonna start as they are working on that structure. I'm gonna start working on a training program for it.
Okay. So the two of you are going to be working on this, and the rest of you guys are going to go feed Kylan. Is that right?
No, right now we're all staying here. I think.
Yeah. We're all staying here so we can question Oniko before we feed Kylan.
Oh, so the goal is to get Oniko operational
Yes.
and awake,
Yeah.
so you can talk to her.
Yeah.
Already won.
Cause
Okay.
yeah.
This is going to be pretty intensive.
Yep. I know.
He can be hungry a little longer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fine.
It's been a day.
All right.
I mean,
let's see.
we're not starving him.
stand
He's
outside.
fine.
All right. So
He
You're
can
gonna-
go without breakfast.
So working with, so that'll be good because you're working with Oya
Yeah.
to build. Yeah, essentially you're building you're building the support system that's going to be waiting for Oniko when she wakes up.
And I can draw on the existing architecture of the AI, and basically alter user, ideally.
There's also, and I'm going to put this out there. There's also an ethical conundrum I'm going to throw at you, Lacey. No. Because all of the memories of Oniko's consistent rebooting, backups, and updates is stored in her brain. You have the capacity to remove them. Okay.
Easy.
I'm
Super easy question. That is a thing that she can explicitly consent to later if she wants.
okay.
I am not involuntarily eternal sunshining someone.
Okay.
Oh yeah, when you put it that way, okay.
Yeah. Hector's like, yeah, but why would you? Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
got it.
Aha.
Yeah.
Marshmallow.
Okay.
Yep.
So the two of you are going to go to work. We're going to get a roll. Before we do that, what's everybody else doing? Pacing.
Grabbing beakers from the lab. Those are my Tupperware now.
Okay.
So I'm making little tiny potions basically for snacks.
Gumbo potions.
Gumbo potions.
I love this so much.
I'm gonna guess we're sort of taking turns because you have rituals and I have rituals for like coding mode. Yeah.
So
I like code mode.
it's a day spent under the waves at Blue Dolphin Base as you're all milling about trying to keep yourselves busy. It's the deep breath before the plunge, before the next move of the Callisto 6 to try to figure out what's going on. Let's go ahead and figure out a roll because we're about to come up on our break. Before we do, I'd love to figure out how we do. So you're coding to allow Oniko to come to consciousness and be able to actually interact. And you, Oya, are currently trying to create a training program. Is that correct?
Yeah.
That's going to allow her to what exactly?
So this is my thought is like this is her consciousness, like the actual Oniko has not been in control for so long, so she's gonna have to
Correct.
learn how to control and how
Okay.
to operate.
Yeah. I mean, the glass half full way to look at this is her brain does have the capacity to receive data and be able to incorporate it, much like a computer who's getting software installed does. In fact, that might be the delivery method in which Oniko would be learning at this point. Also, it's worth also noting too that Lacey, one thing you would probably take note of is Oniko was the project name. And it's just what she's gone by. There's no record of an actual name.
Because we don't keep the records.
There's every indication to there's every bit of indication to suggest that Oniko was a clone, and one of the earlier clones that were grown by Cassium.
Okay.
So you're literally going to be building a framework for her psychology to basically lean upon, in order to find its footing, so to speak. So this is a Herculean task that not necessarily is incredibly time. This would be time consuming by months for a normal person, but somebody who operates at the speed of thought and who has the backup of Oya and the computer systems that you do, Lacey could absolutely do this. It is going to be
hard.
not easy though.
I'm working off a completely foreign architecture
Yeah.
and
advanced
trying to make code in that, and I have never seen this language. It's cool.
All right, I'm gonna.
Fine.
This.
Yeah.
Sam's already bracing for impact. I mean, rated on the difficulty levels of things that you can do in this game.
Yeah, I'm not breaking the laws of physics.
You're not breaking the laws of physics. I would
That's all I
totally
got going for me.
I would totally call this, however, a heroic roll.
What does that mean in numbers?
You've already
Harry?
beat it. It's
Please just say-
difficulty 8.
Okay. All right.
That is what you were attempting to do. I would definitely constitute as a heroic difficulty.
Okay, cool. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
A
cool.
task worthy of tales told for years afterward.
Yeah, you were literally about to do stuff that would become the subject of scientific research for the next half decade at least.
Just got to roll a 24.
But
You can do it.
Well, so last time I couldn't use my intelligence power shift for coding.
you can use it this time.
This time I
This is
can.
absolutely coding.
Last time, after expending a level of effort, I took it from 8 down to 1. Because I now have my power shift if I expend a level of
It
effort.
goes to 0.
It does.
Oh my lord.
Superheroes, man.
We don't deserve a Lacey.
So,
I have one thing. Oh dear.
Oh.
Oh dear.
Oh no.
no.
Okay. I'm scared anyway.
I always look for juicy opportunities to insert a GM intrusion, but on this, like, I really want to.
I would spend my way out of an intrusion
I would
against Deborah Harding if you're.
I would anticipate that, and I feel like this is definitely a moment not to rob from a player. This is what Lacey does. This is what your character is designed for. This is the abilities that they do, and the work you're doing is so important. You're gonna have a lot of snacks. You and Oya are gonna be burning the midnight oil. And running a lot of diagnostics and going back and it'll probably you have an estimated completion probably about 2 a.m.
I'll keep bringing
I put a clock up there with like a countdown. Sometimes the countdown goes up. Sometimes the countdown goes down. It is not linear time.
It's just like
We've
downloading.
all encountered those, like when you're downloading a
LimeWire.
Steam game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or that
Downloading
illegal
Steam
thing.
game.
Yeah.
I figure out a code block.
That's my GM
jump-
intrusion. You see a pop-up Steam sale just like right as you start your operation.
Diabolical.
Such a bastard. So
I'll be up with you to help, but I'm probably useless in this.
everyone is this is kind of that scene where everyone's watching a surgery happen and you can't do anything, so you just kind of have to pace and make sure the doctor's doing their job and keeping them hydrated and relaxed. But Lacey, and Oya, both the two of them tag team this and go just deep dive into the tech. And for hours and hours on end without taking breaks, you see the two of these people operating over Oniko and sifting through. And Oya, you're starting to see what Lacey's working with. This code, you've never seen anything like this. The advanced coding of that has gone into programming Oniko is far more advanced than anything that humans are doing today.
I'll try to comment some of it out to help.
Yeah.
Because I don't think the documentation here is super well suited toward foreign users.
Right. When we come back from break in 10 minutes, we're gonna find out. What Oniko has to say. As you've succeeded on this roll, it'll be early morning hours.
Did we just forget to feed Kylan the whole day?
Yeah. Yes.
Whoops.
Yes.
On purpose.
There's
I
a
can
funnel
either
cake.
code or I can fly a submarine menu.
He lived in
There's
decadent
a-
privilege. He can do it.
There's a food truck down the street. He'll be fine.
He'll be
He can
fine.
go get a food. Food.
Until then, we're going to take a quick 10-minute break. So don't go anywhere, guys. We'll see you in 10 minutes. Stay tuned. And you are suplexed through the wall of Blue Dolphin Base.
What about my soup?
It gets plexed.
Dang it.
It is
Your
no
soup
longer
gets
gumbo.
completely perplexed. It looks at you so confused right through the wall of Blue Dolphin Base.
Ford starts
So it's
screaming
floating
things
in,
for
it's
me.
floating in the water. I don't know. This narrative has gotten so
Who knows what's going through its noodle?
Are we drowning?
It's out of control.
No.
Didn't you just say you don't like puns?
I can't swim.
This is a video
know what?
game glitch in a,
It's the
in a
most
tabletop
anger
game.
love. Anger love. When something's so cute, you want to squish it. It's that feeling, but
puns.
manifested through puns.
With puns, got it.
Welcome back. Welcome back. All right, so let's go ahead and just jump straight back into where we left off.
Kylan's gonna be so mad
Yeah.
to get in
Kylan's
and out
angry.
at 3:30 in the morning.
We are not a delivery service
Thank
of food,
you.
okay?
Thank
Please
you.
rate
So
5
six.
stars.
No offering
Thank you.
for deliveries.
I'm just cooking because I'm nervous. Everyone can read.
So
the
round
words.
210, you all get the notification from Oya popping up on your screens wherever you are, if you are napping or trying to nap, that the work has been completed. Lacey has written an exorbitant amount of code that should not be possible to write for one person, even with an assist. It would take a team of people, as I said, at least 3 to 4 weeks to complete the task that Lacey has done with their mind and computer and a brilliant assistant who is basically constructing an entire VR training program in tandem with the research. So at about that point, Lacey, you've created a coded structure that will actually support and help process all of the stimuli that's going to be coming in when Oniko comes to. You've essentially you have essentially written the revivify spell. For a character, for a woman who has been sealed away by some vicious, malicious entity that has written a code that has just blocked out that psyche. And you're ready to implement the code now.
Oh. Hello. Hello.
Ready. Midnight code.
Midnight code.
What's happening? Are we done? Are we ready?
Yeah, it's done.
Okay, I'm ready. Let's go.
We're definitely out of coffee.
Just do some squats. It's a study trick.
Yeah, it works.
Okay.
It does work.
I was in the training room, so
Okay.
I hear ruckus. I don't get the alert because I don't have an alert.
People filtering into the room all look a little tired, a little sleepy, except for Hops, who looks like Hops always does. Completely wide awake and alert and focused on what's going on.
Did you get any sleep?
I
nervous?
rested. Yeah, it's fine. I'm just. Let's just get this over with.
Good team player. You're a good team player.
Thanks, Ants.
Yeah, you're gathered around Oniko. There is a VR. There is There's two ways to do this. You can just simply wake her up, or you can literally wake her up into a VR simulation.
That's what my training
What we
program
built.
is.
What does
Okay.
the VR simulation look like?
It's like a Windows 10 update screen.
Because that's exactly what you are an
Tutorial.
expert at. This is where
Yeah.
you live,
It-
and
yeah,
it's
I
what I'm
wanted
terrible
to-
at.
I wanted her not. It's like a buffer room so that she can learn and grow and practice and be comfortable and not be just like out in the harsh world right away if she doesn't want to be. So it looks like a very comfy room. There's like beanbag chairs, and considering that she has grown up without control, I just wanted to give her something that's like not childlike, but something that's kind of comforting and like a cozy, warm place that a child would take comfort in.
It's like
so
a
there's a lot
playroom?
of like a playroom, but not with toys around. It's just like maybe shapes and objects that she could touch and hold, and big comfy chairs, bean bags, a nice comfy rug, and beautiful big windows that have like nice natural landscapes.
Very cool.
Okay.
So, do we want to meet in VR and I can put a screen up with audio in and out?
Yeah, sure.
For people who don't want to?
Thank you.
Okay. Cool. Let's jump in.
All right. And load it up.
So
All
who's
right.
going in?
Slide down the VR.
It's just
Yep.
Do you want to come in with us?
Whoever wants to
Yeah.
come in, they want
okay.
It'll support anybody who wants to go. in.
Yeah. Whoever you want to come too.
Yeah.
Anyone who has glasses or
I've never
contacts.
seen one of Wayne's World, so you gotta.
I'm gonna watch from the outside.
Okay.
Just also because if I get nervous and shock something, I don't want it to frizz the whole system. So I'm gonna
I'll
watch.
also
from the
stay outside and keep my eye on Lindy, but we'll be fine.
Yeah, we have this screen.
Yeah.
Let us know. Okay.
outside. And also
Yeah.
to keep an eye on her
Yes.
body in case she
Right.
flips out too.
Super valid.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
In we go to the tutorial playroom.
So darkness begins to break across a straight line that traces across your field of vision, and then you are all in this virtual world. Projected in for those of you who are wearing the glasses and whatnot, it's a projection that's all in front of you. So you're still well aware that you're in this other room, but you see this very lifelike, brilliantly constructed artificial reality waiting for you inside. Not again, the difference between the dark and the web is this is clearly a virtual construction, but very accurate. I wouldn't say it looks cartoony. It doesn't look like, for example, MMOs today, but it does look like incredibly well-defined graphics that you are aware that you're looking at a virtual representation, but it is very realistic looking, to the point where if you look at your hands, you can even see some pores near your hair follicles and whatnot all across your arms, and it's the resolution is incredible.
Super high poly.
Yeah.
I spot a plant that I recognize from watching you practice on it over and over again. Like, yeah, you're really nailing those now.
Yeah, I love those, right?
Great.
I'm impressed.
Yeah, very impressive.
And in front of you, you see Lacey, who looks a little different than the rest of the room. Lacey everything around y'all looks very graphically enhanced. Lacey looks like Lacey looks in the real world. Lacey looks like there's a human being, and it's almost a little jarring. It doesn't have as dramatic of effect as, say, seeing a human in Toontown, for example. But it does have that same quality of it looks like a living person being interposed into a graphical CGI setup.
Is that how it appears on the screen to us on the outside? Very
Yeah.
cool. Very
There's
cool.
a brief moment where you see in Lacey's spot a veiled figure with sort of lens flare behind them, and then it switches back into Lacey as they use.
The dark persona just kind of seeping back for a second as you assert.
Is this what it's like?
Want a deep dive?
This is the physically there. This is the best that there is up here. This is really the best.
Whoa.
I collaborate with the best. Is she here? I can initiate the protocols whenever we're ready.
I like nervously pick up a beanbag thing and move it slightly. Is this good?
Let's find out.
It's like being in a delivery room out here waiting for a baby
Okay.
to be born.
You initiate the protocol, and Oniko's brain activity immediately activates. You see it come live. And all of you begin to see this resolution begin to take place. Think of it as like someone's literally loading right in front of you. And it carries with it, because of the nature of this interaction, it too is a physical manifestation. So in other words, she looks very, very much like Lacey looks, since it's literally her brain that you guys are jacking into, interposed over a VR setup. So you see like you know, like in the original Tron movie, sort of like the hexes beginning to form into a human body, and then it begins to fill in with all the details until eventually you see the Oniko who is laying at the bed without the restraints laying on the floor. The only difference is her clothing looks like a hospital dress going down to her knees. A little unexpected, but Lacey, you and Oya would probably realize that this is how, for whatever reason it's been chosen, this is what Oniko's this is what is familiar, and this is what Oniko has subconsciously selected as how they're viewed.
I immediately sit on my knees to make my physical presence less threatening looking. I don't want to be towering over her.
Okay.
I'll spot that and kind of awkwardly imitate.
Yeah, I'll get lower too.
Everyone sits down?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nailed it.
And you see her eyes slowly begin to blink open. And for a stretch of time, maybe long enough that it's kind of questionable, but about 20 seconds of silence as she just lays on the floor and stares up and blinks. And then after a few moments, you see her fingers start to move and she begins to slowly sit up. And as she sits up, the dress begins to fall away to reveal her suit underneath.
Okay.
And just kind of, and she looks at the dress and it immediately sort of melts away into the data in her hands, just as her mind lets go of it. And she sits up and you see she just kind of looks at her hands and she looks blinkingly at all of you and then puts her hands up in front of her face and looks at all of you and then just and she doesn't say anything. She just looks like she's processing the sensation of moving her hands. And she glances down and pulls her legs up to her chest and wraps her arms around them. So she's like sitting in fetal for a second. And you see this sort of like confusion on her face as she holds herself.
As she starts to sort of look more uncomfortable or self-conscious, I just want to hold my hands up and in sort of broken ASL sign, you are safe.
You, it's a little, what's great about this, Lacey, is because of the way you and Oya are connected right now, you're actually able to read some of the brain patterns that are coming through. I'm guessing you're keeping tabs on how this is going on the outside as well. So you're actually able to keep tabs of her anxiety levels and like how her brain is reacting to all of this. She seems slightly thrown and a little surprised that she understands what you're saying to her as you sign it to her. And you hear a child's voice come out of her mouth as she says, safe. Like she's trying to understand what that word means.
I don't know if I would know ASL. So I'll just say this out loud. You are in control.
It's dreamlike the way the interaction begins to take place. And you see text, like being typed on a keyboard, appearing above her head. And it says, what is control? And it doesn't look like she's aware that it's there. And all of you become aware that you hear what sounds like the sounds of like someone frightened a flock of pigeons, and you hear feathers just all around you, everyone hearing it. Oya, not in your program. And you see her just kind of glance up for a second, and she begins to stand up. And like she forgot something, and she turns towards one of the walls and walks over to it and places her hands on it. Nothing happens, but she just kind of stands there for a moment.
On another feature of this room is that on a different wall than where she's standing, there is a chamber that she's the only person who can access this. She can open the doors and enter it, and basically that's the entryway to the structure.
Yeah.
Basically, this is like a chamber.
Lobby of the tutorial room.
Yeah.
The tutorial level.
Yeah, so if she wants to actually like go out and actually operate and, be in her body, then she can leave that way. So, so I stand up, and I don't come any closer, give her space, and I say, control means you decide.
Her hands slide down the wall, and as she turns around and looks at all of you for a moment then, and begins to slowly walk over to you, Oya, and as she reaches you, she reaches down and takes your hand, unless you resist it, of course. No. And then she runs her hand across your arm, like she's trying to get sensation. And then she puts her face in your hand. She just reaches down, and you see all of this. It literally looks like somebody who's exploring their world for the very first time, trying to understand the sensory input that they're getting. And as she pulls away, you see the text again, and she speaks it just as it appears above her head, and she says, "What is real?"
You said her voice is young.
It sounds like a young girl, probably in like around her early teens, 11 to 14.
Okay.
It's young enough that
Yeah,
it doesn't necessarily.
Yeah.
It's noticeably younger than how she appears.
How is that relative to what the timeline that I could infer from her medical stuff?
It's alarmingly close to about the time that she probably was receiving a bulk of the implementations of cybernetics.
When she lost
You may have,
Okay.
she may have inadvertently, with this newfound freedom, immediately started at 0 and found the place that was where she was still mostly her and has begun from there. It looks like the coding has actually helped her sort of find some stability.
That's all super.
The rewrite is allowing her to ask questions, and it looks like it's allowing her to understand language. Interestingly enough, she does seem to be familiar with all of you, but she doesn't seem to know how to process with all of
It's good that she's not kicking our faces in.
Well, there's not a protocol that says execute, destroy, murder, terminate. Instead, she's like, her interactions with y'all have been cold and borderline violent, and now she seems to be touching and asking and curious, but also bewildered. You're not sensing any, Lacey, you're not getting any readings of like an emotional roller coaster going on inside of any kind. She just looks completely like she's just letting it all come at her, and she's not stopping. Yeah. In other words, the code that you wrote is working. She's processing all the information. She's not being overwhelmed by everything, and instead she is experiencing it.
Real is a big question, but you are real, and you're you now, and that's Oya, and I'm Cass, and that's Lacey.
Lacey, Luma, Anton.
Oh, she can see us too?
Whoa.
Whoa.
No, when she reaches, she points over in the direction where, right next to Anton, and doesn't say anything. She just kind of points and says,
And you?
and that's when you see the face fall. And she goes completely silent, and her hand drops to her side, and she seems to go into a state of anxiety.
Oh, sorry.
Like a realization that that is a question she doesn't seem to know the answer to.
Is one of the like sensory things near us to immediately hand her to de-escalate rising anxiety? Like
Sensory
in
things?
the
Shapes and colors.
exercises that.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Pillow shaped like
yeah,
a star.
exactly. Yeah.
You just hand her a pillow shaped like a
Immediate,
star.
like just something else to focus.
It definitely directs her attention to it, and she looks at it. And then she takes it, and you see a dramatic shift in her face as she takes it, and she runs her hands across the fluff, and you hear her go, ah. And she lets her fingers spread through all of it, and then she puts her face against it and squeezes it, and she begins to touch her face as she's doing that, as she's realizing she's reacting, and kind of, it's literally like somebody trying to explore and discover their own body as she's touching her face.
Eric,
Yeah.
Lindy and Anton have been also keeping their eyes on her like physical body.
Is there any?
Has there been any reaction? Is she still hooked up to the like?
She's still hooked up to it.
Okay.
There hasn't been
Device or
any,
anything?
nothing really. You're there too, aren't you? You're also jacked in?
No, we are.
No.
out in
Neither
real
of
Oh, the
them.
two of you are jacked out?
So we just had
Okay.
this awesome metaphysical tech moment where she pointed to what was the camera.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she reached through to us, and we were like, "Whoa!"
Yeah, but she didn't seem to know that
we're not there.
Hobbs was there. Yeah.
She can feel our presence.
Yeah.
but we're not in the.
It's kind of,
matrix.
it's, exactly. But it seems like she identified that she knows the six of you. And has identified that the six of you are a group because she names all of you off. And then
Yeah.
Almost.
she holds the star, and then she just clutches it to her chest. And you begin to watch the suit change.
Okay.
Did I fuck it up? No. It's all just learning.
There are also all the preloads that I built for Luma's suit that are available as just easy grabs in here.
You see a fluctuation of clothing beginning to appear and disappear on her. And she doesn't even seem to notice. She's just kind of looking confused again as she squeezes the star close to her.
Always reuse code.
Yeah. Okay. Do I have that in here too? Okay. Point out clothes.
She nods.
What is it currently changed to right now?
As you say clothes, you see the clothes you're wearing begin to appear on her body, and she just nods to you.
Switch to big fuzzy sweater.
Okay. She looks at the star and then immediately goes over to you and starts touching the sweater. And you see again, it's night and day. The only code that you all know, that stoic, stone-faced assassin,
Yeah.
doesn't appear anywhere in the face of this young woman who's smiling as she's touching this fuzz.
All right. Sleek metal with mirrored quality.
Okay. And that kind of bewilders her for a second. She's looking, and you see she stares at her reflection for the
Yes.
first time. And she starts to touch her face and stare. You again begin to see that anxiety spike, that identity crisis begin to find its way back into her. But again, the code kind of inferring that and giving her that stability to remind her she is in a safe space. She kind of just goes, and she puts the star down and says, you see the text appear, and she signs to you, "I need to know." The text appears over her head as she signs it. Yeah.
I sign out each letter because I can't find the right
She
gestures.
smiles, and then she
And
takes
then I
your
just
hands.
say, ask away.
She takes your hands and starts doing
Oh,
ask away, like, and showing you. And then
Thank
she
you.
nods. And she signs, "Who am I?" Where have I been?
I sign
How old
whoever
am
you
I?
want to be.
The questions start to get
Oh,
strained,
okay.
and she just says, "I want to understand what's happening."
You can slowly
What is
your
this place?
pace.
What is pace? And the anxiety begins to spike a little
Choice. Choice.
Is this the part where I say the technical things?
Maybe. Is there a way to manifest a book of anything we know about her, or some safe stuff?
Much lower poly, much less attractive book. Real fast.
Okay.
I can make things happen and they don't look
See
pretty.
Oniko run, see Oniko
Is it like
kill.
a picture pop-up book?
I mean, it's low poly.
Sure.
It looks like a Minecraft book in like
With our
a Bethesda with mods kind of world.
Okay.
Okay, you give this to her. What's the data inside this book if she takes it? She
Data has a summarized biographical history based on what I could conclude.
okay.
I start there. Also, in subsequent chapters, lists the things that we've done and lists what we know about her.
Okay.
Yep.
It happens so fast. You hand her the book, and then she opens it, and she goes, and she turns the page, and you on the outside begin to see her heart spiking and the activity in her brain, and then she's flipping through the pages, and you see the expression on her face resembles. She's processing the information, but the expression on her face has gone almost neutral with terror as she's flipping through it and flipping through it and flipping through it and flipping through it. And as she's flipping through it, an image begins to form, almost like an animation, like you've drawn on paper and you're flipping through it. And you all begin to see a glowing pair of eyes begin to manifest inside this book. And you hear this low, just like vibrating rumble. Not a part of the program at all. You can see that Oniko's memory is reasserting, and you see, you see again. What do you do?
I run forward and I grab the book.
You're running forward to grab the book. As it's happening, this low rumble is happening. You rush forward, and you all see like a scrolling over and over, Fletcher, just scrolling like it's a screen, like someone is just flooding the channel. And then you see her going, and you slap the book right out of her hands, and it literally just explodes into pixels into the air and demanifests. And she, and you detect outside she's starting to hyperventilate, like. You see her body stiffen up against the restraints a little bit.
I grab my hand and I start signing against her chest. Over.
they got it,
Safe.
they got it.
It's over.
There's
safe.
no Fletcher
Over.
here.
Anton,
Safe.
how do we make someone calm? Anton,
No
you
Fletcher.
can hear me, right?
No Fletcher.
It's just you.
Her face, in this virtual world, you don't see tears forming. Outside, however, you can hear the whimpers, and you can see them coming from the corners of her eyes, streaming down the side of her face. In this VR world, the woman that's called Oniko, she grabs your forearms immediately, and she looks into your eyes and just keeps nodding as you're talking, and nodding as you're talking.
Safe. Just I'm just repeating the rhythm so she feels someone on her.
She pulls away and starts signing rapidly.
Okay,
rapidly,
slow down.
and you just see
Okay.
the text. There's no space between words.
Yeah.
He took me from me. He took me from me. He took me from me. It took me from me. It took me from me. It took me from me.
You're back.
She nods, and she stops for a second and says, she signs something to you, and it says first time. First time here.
First time awake?
Always through a window.
Okay.
And on the medical bed, You see her relaxing, but she is inconsolably, like, her face, even though her body is kind of slumped back, but her face looks like somebody who's experiencing a nightmare and is crying in their sleep. But again, she gently grabs hold of your arms.
I have an intuition because we don't have her name, her English name or records or anything, but it's possible buried. What's your sign name? Because I have a friend whose name's Rebecca and has curly hair, and it's just R, like a curl. She might just remember that on a different level.
She looks at you and nods as you're signing, and then just goes, "It just called me pet."
That's not great. I want to hear that.
I'm sorry.
It's not like you.
We're different.
No, it's not like you.
Not like people?
Not human.
Yes.
She heard me?
No, Lacey
Oh,
asked.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, 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 what's
It's
happening?
not like you.
Do you know what it is?
She just says, bad. It took me from me.
No more.
That's over.
I want to wake up now.
Okay. I point to the chamber.
She glances over at the door, and getting the implication that she needs to walk through it, she hesitates and looks back at all of you like she doesn't want to leave the room without you guys. She kind of stops and...
We're coming with you. Together.
A few moments later, you all turn and look down to see the woman known as Oniko, her eyes blinking open for the first time. She looks a little confused by the sensations she's feeling and the wetness all over the side of her face. But you hear her just, and she looks down and, she sees the restraints, and you see the spike of anxiety immediately.
I immediately take
As all of you are jumping out of the VR,
Yeah,
you
I
take
will
them
take
off.
them off, yeah.
She sits bolt upright, and for a second, it looks like she's about to retreat. But then when she sees all of you, she just...
Real.
Hi.
Fuzzy sweater.
Yeah, I roll up and just sort of tilt the shaved side of my head because that's my favorite sensory thing to play with.
Okay.
So, just a sensory thing. I don't have a thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
She wipes the side of her face, and it's just... You see her tug at her hair, and then you see she starts to feel the back of her ear where some of her cybernetics are exposed, and you see her just go as clearly a memory begins to flood back into her mind as she... And she signs to you, no reboot.
Your choice.
No reboot. She says it as a statement this time.
Yeah. No. Never again.
She just kind of... And then her breath catches. And her eyes go wide, and she looks past all of you, and she cranes her head, and she slides her legs off of the table and onto the ground. And she begins to walk away from you guys. Slow at first. And you just see this this wonder on her face as she begins to leave the room.
Should we?
I mean, we should follow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You watch her approach one of the glass walls of the base where moonlight is peeking through the surface of the water 60 feet over your heads, And she places her hands up against the glass and begins to stare up at it. And her mouth is just hanging open. And she stays there. The only indication that she's even a living thing is her breath fogging the glass and vanishing, fogging the glass.
Kid.
And she's just staring up at it.
Wanna go swimming?
And then you all hear thudding noises.
I'll be right back.
And well, it's actually in front of you as you see Sal approaching her.
All right.
And she goes and stares up at him, and he just goes,
Coffee.
and she just stares at him. And he holds out a mug, and she takes it, and there's a moment as y'all are watching this, she takes it, and then she has to put her eyes back on the moon, and Sal just kind of looks at her. And the two of you, the rest of y'all find yourselves in a moment where you're looking at Oniko and Sal standing side by side looking up through the glass at the moonlight that's coming down through the surface of the water. Completely quiet. Both of these people, one was genetically engineered to be a monster and to kill things, and the other one was grown and reprogrammed to be an assassin and a murderer. And now the two of them are standing side by side, and both of them, what you notice most poignantly about this moment is Sal is standing in front of a glass that looks out into the water, and he's not moving. He seems just as fixated on the moonlight coming through the surface as the rest, as Oniko. And the two of them just stand there silently, gazing up, not saying a word.
I know this is our lives now, but this is so weird.
I like weird.
They're part of our family.
They've got a lot to be taught.
Oh my gosh, all the code worked, it all worked. There's motor functions, there's everything, there's visual input, everything works, it works.
What's remarkable is not knowing how to use... What's remarkable is, as a woman who doesn't know how to use her body without a program being fed to her, she had the real risk of hurting herself just by moving. I mean, the joints, she used spring-loaded to move at incredible speeds. Yes, everything you wrote, Lacey, has compensated her brain patterns so that she knows exactly how to move her body the moment she woke up. And the assist is working. It's helping her move her body. It's helping her feel sensation. And it just seems to be working so well in the background that she doesn't really notice, except for that she's purposely drawn to every experience that she's happening. And apparently it's infectious because Sal's right there with her. It's just a remarkable scene. What do you do?
I don't think we're gonna get, like, hardcore intel tonight.
No, but maybe we should get her a fresh pair of clothes.
So, mainland trip?
Yeah, or I could just alter one of the many, many pieces I made Sal.
And you have all of the disguises, and then I made the suit, because I was bad at coordinating with you.
Yeah, we might be the same size-ish. I kind of don't want to leave, though. They're just so...
They don't move.
I pull up a chair and sit next to them. I find a chair somewhere.
Oh, there are chairs. You can slide one out of the kitchen, which is only about 30 feet away.
Yeah.
You slide it down.
I intend it to be smooth. It's super awkward and noisy.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and go back to bed. It seems like everything is nice and calm in here, which is good. This is a good vibe. Good way to end the day. Yeah, we should just pick it up again in the morning, gang. Really good job, everybody. Really good effort. Really good hustle. Good night.
Good night.
Night, Anton.
So we'll do a scene jump unless anybody has anything else.
The whole time, I'm kind of off to the side with my hands clenched extremely. Like, you can just see, like, almost fury buried underneath. Not mad at her, obviously, but just enraged about the situation. And the entire time just thinking how, like, the things I'm gonna do to the person when I catch whoever did this to her. Just furious. Like everyone's enjoying the nice moon and water, and I'm just like I'm seething to have
There's a
this happen to
motherfucker
a
out there that
child.
needs to get his ass beat.
It's a monster. It's a monster.
We're gonna
Whoever
program
did
an
this
ass
to
so
a
we can kick
child.
it.
And Hops is taking it very personal.
Okay.
Anger. It's a sense.
So I'll probably spend some time in the training room.
So do we want to jump to next day? You guys dropping food off
Yeah.
for Kylan? Without
Yeah.
the next... So, the city of Los Angeles is where we take into the next scene. It's early morning hours. It's safer to fly in.
Oh, cool.
It's safer to fly into to early morning LA. And
We have a lot of chill. We're the most chill.
yep.
I have no points in chill.
I have an inability in chill.
I got a better
No
idea.
specialization in Excel.
Let's fly this bad boy to Las Vegas.
Egypt. Amelia doesn't listen to you.
Pyramids in Egypt. Wow, the moon.
Eventually.
The Alamo doesn't have a basement. So, touching down in the wee hours of the morning just before sunrise.
Why did we get up so early?
Well, if you want to do this in the broad daylight, you can. That's true.
Just let me complain. It's fine.
Oh, okay, cool.
It's not even early. It's like noon. You're so
Either way, this is our LA map. So, but you touch down. Judging from news reports, so now that you all have emerged from Blue Dolphin Base, judging from news reports, there have been a lot of activity. There's been a lot of activity last night in Los Angeles, from Baldwin Island all the way down to Raft City. There has been a lot of protests and counter protests, mostly peaceful. LAPD is out in force too. It's just peacekeeping. There hasn't been anything there hasn't been a lot of troublemaking, but the city is also in the midst of celebrating. It's not quite the city divided let me just put it this way. There's a lot of people with really big microphones that want you to think that everyone is a lot more divided than they really are. And when the smoke is cleared from the vote of Measure Z, it's beginning to show that the city was in fact quite united against the future that was being written for them. That they were being told was going to keep them safe. That they were being told was the way things are. The way tyranny works. You're happy, you're fine. Everything's fine. And the other side is your enemy, not your fellow citizen. Los Angeles came to the realization after that vote that they're all citizens of LA. And it seems like a lot of the protests and partying have definitely spilled over into a little bit of the rowdy side. But for the most part, your touchdown out here next to this warehouse goes completely unnoticed. And as the ramp begins to descend, you see Kylan Kraus leaving the warehouse and running up to this and goes,
How's it
Hand him a
going?
potion.
he takes it and says, "I'm sorry, I don't know what this is."
Drink it.
Why?
Aren't you hungry?
Oh my god, if we were gonna kill you, you'd be dead already. Just drink it. It's not poison.
I suppose that's true. And he pops it off and, is that gumbo?
Yeah, you're not allergic to seafood, right?
No, I've just never drank gumbo before. And he just downs it. And
Yeah,
then
it took us,
You haven't
We
had
didn't
very
have any
good gumbo
Tupperware.
then.
it took us hours to make it.
Thank you. So, now what?
I also picked up some. We got some In-N-Out on the way. Some fast food for the next day at least.
You
So
want me to stay here another day?
at least another day. Here you go. Here's lunch. Here's dinner.
He takes it and
Duffel
says,
bag of more potions, put it around your shoulder.
Brunch.
all right, well,
I throw a
thank you.
sleeping bag at him.
He starts piling this up and says, I'm sorry, I'm grateful. Don't think I'm not grateful, but I am asking, what's the plan here? Am I just supposed to remain here?
We're
Well,
working on it.
do you have a better place to be?
It's only a matter of time until she finds out where I am. She's quite good at what she does.
I don't think she'll be finding you here. I think you'll be fine.
That's what we're working on. We're trying to get to the bottom of it, right, everybody?
My point is that eventually she's going to find out that I'm here and kill me.
Nope.
She's not gonna do that. Trust us.
Yeah, it would be really sad if that happened.
Let's just say that she's been taken out of the equation.
You've killed her?
Let's just say that she's been taken out of the equation.
So she's been neutralized, but
Let's just say she's been taken out of the equation.
Math is hard, I know. But look, yes, you obviously are somewhat safe here, and we have nowhere else to put you, so have at it.
I'm starting to think that maybe I'm not as safe as I thought I was under your
Okay.
protection.
Here's the thing. You have to give us more information.
Like anything.
What do you want to know?
Everything you know, just tell us.
Everything I know, just
Yes.
tell you.
Who is this big bad that we're supposed to take out so that
Yeah.
you're safe?
You said she was gonna kill you? Who's giving her those orders?
Yeah.
I imagine it must be coming from Fletcher, who wants to protect his investments.
And what is Fletcher?
What is Fletcher?
Yeah.
Who?
I've never met him.
Tell us everything you know about Fletcher.
His orders usually come to me through various digital messages, and more often than not, they came through Oniko.
Do you have records of those digital messages?
Well, yes, they're all back in my office
Your office at Pyramid?
at Pyramid.
Okay.
Right. I think it's time to
If
have a little field
you
trip.
have neutralized or have taken her out of the equation, and that's
Thank you.
not a falsehood, it shouldn't be a problem for me to be able to access that information again. And I'd be happy to give it to you if you
And
want it.
We could trace the origin of those messages?
I'm not a tech wizard. Theoretically, yes. You
We have a tech
have Lacey.
I have a lot of things that could be answered with some information from Pyramid Star.
And there's no other way for Fletcher to get to you other than through Oniko, who we all agreed we've taken out of the equation?
Well, Fletcher had resources at his disposal, but Oniko was his general, so to speak, his enforcer.
Do you think it'd be safe to bring him?
I don't care. I want to know who Fletcher is. I don't know. I want to know where we find him. Or it. Whatever Fletcher is.
I don't trust him.
Do we need to?
I can stay here, but if you go in without me, it's going to raise...
Then we won't.
If we go with you,
I was about to say,
it's gonna-
Luma.
Very well.
Do you look like him?
Enjoy your gumbo.
Oh, go on TV and give away your entire fortune.
Oya burst out laughing.
I wouldn't recommend that.
Why not? I know a few charities that could
We might need-
benefit.
I've never had a fortune. I always lived under the account of Pyramid Star. It all belongs to Fletcher.
You do a good impression of a rich asshole.
Well, it's easy when you're rich.
Oh.
Someone explain that to me.
I lived in the privilege of Pyramid Star. I don't have that anymore. If you go in there and proclaim that you're me and give away a wealth that you don't have, you're just going to get more people looking for me.
That's true.
Wait.
All of his wealth is in options, and all of his assets were corporate owned.
Not to mention Pyramid Star employs
Trust
close
fund
to
kid.
145,000 employees across the globe.
Okay, wait. I know how you can help us sniff this Fletcher out. What is something that would completely piss him off if you did?
Well,
Giving away all his fortune?
he begins to unwrap a In-N-Out burger and shove it into his mouth. And he just chews on it for a second and goes, if you've killed Oniko, that would probably piss him off.
So, would a disconnection from input-output signals from her accomplish that same end?
They're not very good poker players, you know that?
We're good at other things.
I'm playing with amateurs.
He puts the burger away on that note and says, if you have taken Oniko from him, That would be one of the most damaging things you could do. She has access to information that nobody in my position has ever had access to. And for whatever reason, Fletcher seems to have taken particular pride in his work with Oniko. That is much I can read.
I hate
A
myself.
street light not far away explodes.
Pops. Okay, that causes him to jump. And he just kind of... I really need to take better care of this part of town.
I hate myself for even asking this, but what do you want now?
Not that it matters.
He folds...
Yeah, like I don't care, but you know.
No, of course not. Of course not. And he rolls up the bag and says, honestly, I've never really had a life of my own. I'm not sure what I want. I'm not really sure what I'm good at yet.
Still not sorry I messed up your statue.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I am the reproduction of many men who looked exactly like me beforehand, so it technically wasn't my statue.
That makes us feel better, yeah.
I never took it personally. It's amazing that you were able to throw it that high, though.
It was supposed to make you take it personally.
Well, what's the play?
Probably pissed Fletcher off.
Okay, I think here's the thing. They're just gonna replace him. They're just gonna replace Oniko with someone else that Fletcher controls. So I think the answer is to get Fletcher to reveal himself somehow.
Call his bluff. Make him go all in.
We'll make him come out and meet us on our playing field. Not just be this weird shadowy thing. And maybe it's like we say, hey, we killed Oniko, or hey, we whatever. But we need something that will make him so mad that he has to show his hand.
We bluff.
A bluff that's so good that he can't tell the truth and he has to come out and see for himself.
The only way you're going to draw Fletcher out is if you have something that's going to make him desperate enough that he has to reveal himself.
How do we hurt
He's
him?
gonna want Oniko back.
Yeah, Oniko is one. I have no idea what he's going to do now that Measure Z is passed. That's going to significantly weaken and change the entire playing field for corporate LA.
We need to get into his office, get as much information as he can from his files, track what we can, and send a message. And let it be so convincing.
And what if that
Please.
message...
Is drop shape. Can you falsify Oniko's signal?
Oh,
Make him think Oniko's back on the grid shift and have him come to us? Make our own pot of honey?
I also have something to add to that. Though I don't think you're going to like it, although you might, considering the advantage it'll put you at.
This is too much preamble.
Well, I was just thinking,
Stop pausing.
if you're going to portray yourself as Oniko, what would really make his head spin is, what if Oniko reappeared, and so did I, right where we left off? In other words, what if I was once again the CEO of Pyramid Star Solutions?
And she went against his orders.
Then they can't put a new stooge at the top of Pyramid Star.
Yeah. It's true, but
The public has seen everything now, everything that matters to them anyway. If you put me back in charge of Pyramid Star, it definitely means he won't be able to install his next puppet without drawing so many questions from the media, who now have complete control and autonomy.
That puts you at risk.
Yeah.
Why are you so much more comfortable with that?
Well, a death mark from Oniko, that's a certainty. That's a matter of time. Putting me in charge of Pyramid Star is dealing me back into the game. Not playing on the same side anymore, of course, but hiding out in the open, so to speak, is a lot safer than hiding in a warehouse even though I do enjoy In-N-Out Burger. Sponsor us, In-N-Out.
What's to stop Fletcher from stealthily killing you, replacing you, and then we start all over again, and then we have no idea that you've even been replaced?
I can fix that.
That's
We
a good
can
point.
monitor him.
An insertable chip that broadcasts signal, the same principle as Oniko, but stealthed so that we can receive it. If it stops transmitting, like a dead man switch, we would know about it. We would know that you got caught, and we would know where you are.
We're gonna keep tabs on you. How do you feel about that?
We
Considering
could
it's
help
my
you.
life, pretty good.
So to get back at the people that did what they did to Oniko, to get back at Fletcher, we're gonna do the exact same thing with Kylan Kraus.
He agreed to it, though. Kind of a difference.
Just a transmitter. Gosh, I would never.
No. I don't think he meant it that way. I think he more meant just. I think Anton is expressing the irony of the situation.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm about to help you be CEO. I'm aware of the irony of the situation.
If it makes you
How
feel
about
any
just
better.
co-CEO?
The good news is,
Because I believe I was put in charge.
In my absence, Oniko was interim CEO.
Exactly.
If I was to reappear,
So how about a partnership?
it's possible. But then keep in mind, if that's the case, you'd be devoting all of your days to working at Pyramid Star.
not only that, what do CEOs even do?
Well, right up until
Do a lot, actually.
everything fell apart, yes. As your former
mostly
corporate man
meetings.
here can tell you.
Silent partner's a thing.
Silent partner's a thing. But
I don't know what kind of thing. I don't.
It's not gonna do us any good if we're trying to be public about this whole thing.
Oniko was very rarely seen.
But I thought the point was to draw out Fletcher.
So let him see you a few times. Let him get questions. And I'm sure he'll come knocking.
We'll have to make sure Lacey's close enough to at least put out some kind of signal to make him think it's Anoko.
I have an idea. I can do it.
It's time to tell you that one piece of information that I don't know if it's relevant or not, but it's worth mentioning. There are other CEOs that are working in corporate LA, Cassium Traeger. They all answered to me at the time when I was working with them, and for the most part, they all were, if you'll excuse the phrase, recyclable, as Fletcher liked to call them. Which means we went through them quite frequently. But right now, I have no doubt that they're all struggling to find out who's going to be Fletcher's next lapdog. If you put me in control, I can keep tabs on them.
Yeah.
Here's another idea.
We don't need a Charlemagne rising at Cassium after Rome falls. There's a power vacuum.
That's true, but don't you think another way to get Fletcher out is if he thinks Anoko did capture some of us?
No.
No?
Why?
Yeah, keep going with that train of thought.
Because I'm thinking, not only, what if we play every card we have on the table to where there's no way he can't reveal himself? If we put him back in charge, put Anoko by his side, and then all of a sudden have, I don't know,
Are you talking about the real Oniko, or are you talking about Luma?
I'm saying Oniko, Luma, obviously. If
When we're
if
doing,
what he wants is us, why not give him us? Make him think he's got it.
because then we could die.
No, I'm not saying,
He could kill us.
but he won't know that we know that
Oh,
he would know. Using ourselves as bait.
I get it. Because they were going to capture us alive and experiment on us.
But
But if we were in there, then I could access their notes and get their experiments.
and also it's
And
not
we would be
Oniko.
experimenting on them.
You know, we're not going to
Not
be
like
in
me-
any
not
actual
like that.
danger from her.
Oh, because Luma would be in charge of this grabbing operation.
So the plan we're assuming is make Oniko public with Kylan Kraus again, and then if contact is made, make it clear I have you in custody?
At least some of us.
Maybe not all of us.
It would definitely force someone to come and pick us up.
It would give me access to like all of the facilities. I could get so much information.
None of this will work.
Why?
Because Fletcher will know he has no control over Oniko at the moment any contact has been severed. He'll know that Luma's fake.
I hate you.
He'll immediately know that you're trying to lure this into a trap, and he'll kill all of us.
What if we could spoof the architecture of the program exactly?
I suppose you could do that, but you might risk encountering Fletcher.
That's the whole
That's
point.
what we want.
No, but in the program, right?
Oh.
It's possible.
Oh.
Doors open both ways.
Would that put you in danger?
Not if it's not connected to my consciousness. If it's a separate thing putting out the signal that I can communicate with, it's not attacking any sort of motor functions or mental functions. I suppose it would just be a simulation. It would just replicate the signature to him.
None of this solves the problem of a power vacuum in corporate LA.
That's why you guys are there.
So you're talking about doing both of these plans then?
That's what I'm saying. Play every card we have, put it all out on the table, make him come out. Because I want to see who this monster is.
There's also something I'm very curious about.
What?
I still don't know what the energy source that turned you into what you are is.
That's what I'm
That makes
trying to
both
find
of
out.
us.
That's why I need to get into Pyramid Star.
There's only one person who knew.
Who?
Or at least knew something. Dr. Patel. She was the only one that had an understanding of exactly what was going on. Or at least a hint of what was going on.
Cool, you just reminded me how much I hate you.
We need her notes. And we need to find her family. What happened? At least notify next of kin.
So we need to get into Pyramid.
Yeah. I think this is the best way. Is this the best?
It's the only one we've got. It's the best.
You want to see a media frenzy, Anton? Something you've got some experience with hyping up. Watch what happens tomorrow when I walk through the front doors of Pyramid Star to take my chair again. And then I can get you whatever information Dr. Patel left behind. Just so you know, though, if Fletcher's watching, that's going to flag. So I might need your help, Lacey.
What do you need my help with?
Well, if Dr. Patel did leave anything behind, she's going to have buried it.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's going to be in the hands of Fletcher already. But I don't have the mind to actually anticipate where you might find such a hidden breadcrumb. So I'll need your help. I can get you easy access without throwing up any of the flares of a hacking job done on Pyramid Star's mainframe. And then from there...
Lacey.
Yeah?
I mean, from there, Lacey takes over.
Although,
I'll be there too.
What about?
And then I
What do we
won't have to
call
go
you?
into the-
what do you mean?
What name are you using now?
I'm Kylan Kraus, as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, so you fucking listen to me, Kylan Kraus.
He folds his arms and says, all right.
I am sorry for how little choice you got in how things shook out for you in the beginning. That sucks. If you turn on us, I will end you.
I'm glad.
Deal?
Deal. Happy to hear that your convictions are in the right place.
She's amazing.
Right.
Then, tomorrow morning, let's pay a visit to our old place of employ.
You like this warehouse, huh? You want to stay here another whole day.
Well, it's gotten me thinking about what would happen if I should get my old job back. I've had plenty of time to consider it.
Actually, this warehouse gives me an idea too.
Blue Dolphin Base, where you all make your home. Used to be a Cassium lab, am I correct?
Yes.
There's no reason in the world why it would raise suspicions if I shifted funds to research projects under code names.
So basically, you're bribing us now too.
You could call it that if you want. I prefer to think of it as saying thank you and funding the Callisto 6.
Siphoning money away from evil projects toward less evil projects seems like an appealing thing. If Pyramid Star has less money, that's good.
Wait, we're less evil projects?
Yeah?
What do we do that's evil?
Well, you.
We're people.
We're putting him back in charge, so it's kind of a wash right now.
Cass has got a point. She did threaten my life just now, too.
Okay.
Oh, come on.
That wasn't a threat.
You don't get to call us
was a
evil
promise.
because.
Hey,
No.
you set the standard. I'm just reading it back to you.
He didn't. Lacey's the one that called us evil.
What? Look, there's
Sorry, less evil.
is the devil we know. We may also be the devils we know.
I think we're overthinking this now.
Fletcher has his hands all over the city, right? He's paying attention to the whole city,
That's
especially
my-
with Measure Z.
That's my assumption. Yes.
Tomorrow
considering-
morning, you guys are going in, getting information. Mm-hmm. What if we create a diversion?
Wait, we want him to know that he's back.
We want him to know that he's back. We don't want him to know that he's going into the system looking up Dr. Patel's information.
Well, you wouldn't have to worry about that. I trust me. Hops, me walking in the door to take that chair again, that'll be the diversion.
Oh yeah.
All right.
All right.
Yes.
But your head's in the right place. It'll certainly work. So,
I'll keep that in my back pocket for another.
we'll just
another
call
day.
you all the senior partners of Pyramid Star. And, it's good to be on the team. He gives you a big, handsome, toothy, disgusting smile.
You're not on the team.
Yeah.
Of course, no, of course. I mean, I had a hand in making you, and
Okay. All right.
This would have been my dream a couple months ago.
Yeah, me too.
I applied there.
This is my idea of a nightmare.
And I'm agreeing to this.
All right, so I guess stay here
We'll get you a new suit.
today. We'll go get you a new suit. We will need your measurements, sir.
oh,
Kylan.
send them to you.
Great.
Also, Lacey, whatever chip you're thinking of,
I have a couple things that I need to build. Off to the shop with me.
Well then, I'll see you tomorrow. It'll be a very interesting day. A new Los Angeles.
let's go.
Why aren't as happy as I should be?
Yeah.
Why aren't I as happy as I should be?
Just because you win doesn't mean it's over.
Just keep saying your mantra.
Seeing him get something that he wants makes me really, really not happy.
While we're alive, he hasn't won.
Funnel cake.
Funnel cake.
And beer.
That's a good button to end on. That's our first episode of season 2, you guys.
We kind of have a mission, like a pretty big mission to.
Hey, check us out! We're going into Pyramid Star.
My little heart.
Stumbled our way into
Season
that.
2
Great.
style.
Yeah.
Hurts.
Right through the front door.
All right.
So to close this out, real quick, 2 things. I want to continue on the long track record of thanking all the people that make this show possible. I'm going to thank the crew, Joey, who's our director of photography. I want to thank Jose, our sound mixer. Brad, our production designer, and his art team that did all this crazy, awesome stuff. And of course, Mickey, Devin, I guess. And I'm not thanking Holly again, Cliff.
Thank you again!
Okay, thank you, Holly.
Yay!
Yes, no, seriously though, to our crew, because as you guys have seen doing the GNS, we look the way we look, and we do things the way we do them around here because of our crew. And so deeply, deeply grateful for all the incredible work that they do. So
Now we're
They
thanks.
make us
Celebrate.
look good.
We're
Yeah,
gonna celebrate by going to Las Vegas.
yeah. It's gonna be a picture of Holly with a bird. So on our way out, real quick. Again, I'm gonna be doing this a lot because it is so rad. It's supporting our show. It means so much to us. It really helps us moving forward. So thank you, Okie Dokie Dice. So much. Really appreciate it. And again, you can find Okie Dokie Dice at okidokedice.com or at Okie Dokie
I just rolled a
Dice.
nat 20 on it.
on-
That's my first roll of that one.
I'm gonna try.
My first one was an
Yeah!
Nice. Oh, yeah.
They're lucky.
Thank you, Okie Dokie Dice, for making her burn that 20 out of game and so she can't use it against me in game. And of course, our beautiful, wonderful friends at Monty Cook Games. Guys, thank you so much. Thank you for the cipher system and for all the work that Monty Cook himself has done, including Bruce, who, by the way, I just want to encourage everyone to check out The Strange. It's one of the cipher system games that I adore. And I have yet to run, but I always say it's X-Files and Sliders meets X-Files and Sliders. Yeah, with a little bit of Cthulhu thrown in there.
universes.
Yeah, a little bit of who. So, and don't forget, you can also use the discount code MeasureZ at the Monty Cook shop to get is it $5? I think it's $5 off. Yeah.
Thank you for
$5 off.
voting.
And thank you for voting.
Oh my gosh.
So we will see you next Friday. Stay tuned because our beautiful, amazing, awesome, rad cast of Vampire is coming back. They'll be here in about an hour. So stay tuned and we'll see you guys later. And until then, folks, stay whimsical.